presenting the colors for our national anthem.
We're back here at Appoquinimink High School. It's the Jags against the Smyrna Eagles. We did the players to watch for the Smyrna Eagles. Let's run down them again real quick. Phoenix Enriquez and Kamaj Kearney, two of the stud wide receivers, and also defensive player Mackenzie Square Ward, linebacker. For Appoquinimink, number 17, Noah Hoff, a huge part of the Jags offense since his freshman year. 8 receptions, 123 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick 6 on defense. This year playing secondary for the first time in his career. Also, Jasir Rogers, a transfer in from Red Line Christian Academy this year. He can flat out fly. He has excellent hands. 10 receptions, 285 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then, of course, who makes it all happen? The quarterback, number 12, Desai Drummond, another transfer in from Howard. And he has passed for over 600 yards, 11 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions in 3 games.
Yeah, Glenn, we talked about it last week. Thrilled to be back here at Appoquinimink. But I told you after the game, I said, just watching the clips of Desai Drummond, I said, I want to be the president of Desai Drummond's fan club. But phenomenal player. It was real exciting to see some of his lights coming up. But a big-time matchup tonight here between two schools, not that far apart from each other here in Smyrna and Appoquinimink. A top 10 or a top 7 matchup, I guess I should say, in terms of Delaware Live Sports rankings. So should be a fun one.
All right, here we go with the opening kickoff. Appo kicking it off deep to the Smyrna Eagles. It'll be taken just inside the 10-yard line, straight up the middle field to the 20, hit at the 25 and out across the 27. And on the return, it was number 7 for the Eagles. That's Phoenix Enriquez. We just talked about him, one of the players to watch. Appo, Nick, has never beaten the Smyrna Eagles. They're 0-5 all time. Lost last year's game 48-16. Most of the scores have been lopsided, but most of the games have featured a night brother.
Wow,
for
you
the
know
Smyrna
what? Yeah, that's right. Over the
So-
years, and we've had the luxury of checking out Wayne Knight at least for a year here at Delaware. A few years ago, Wayne Knight was phenomenal at JMU. JMU doing some big things already here once again this year. Big victory for them last week. But you mentioned it, a great squad of talent and a lot of talent out there on that field there tonight as well.
It sure is. Smyrna in their road whites, white helmets, jerseys, and pants. Of course, the Appo in the home maroon jerseys, helmets, and white pants. And here we go. And look at this formation. Everybody bunched in the backfield. Now they separate from that. A lone wide out to the bottom of your screen. 2 to the top. Enriquez comes in motion. It's a pitch out. They run a sweep. And getting barely anything out there is Christian Carroll, the sophomore running back.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal play. I believe coming up and setting the edge there was Von Brandt on that far side of the field and able to limit the yardage. A minimal gain there, if anything, at all for Smyrna here. They're going to keep it up tempo. Also, Appo running typical 4-3 defense there, and the corners seem to be running with certain players. They're switching sides of the field here in between plays.
Yeah, and they're going to do the same thing, trying to confuse the defense for the Appo Jags. Now 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, alone to the top. Looks like Kearney in the wing. And now an empty set. Marks look left. He's going to take off and run with it up the right side, and he has a first down before he steps out near the 40.
Great play design that time. They're going to motion from right to left, make that defense motion with them from right to left, and create that open space to the right on the quarterback draw, or the quarterback sweep, I guess I should say, to the right side. It brought the whole defense over to the left, Glenn, and left a lot of running room there on that right side for the Eagles.
Now, Nick, both of these teams have lost their feature running backs to start out the season. For Appo, it was Reggie Lee, who had his temporary transfer denied, so now he's waiting for an appeal. And then there was an injury to Tim Yancey, Smyrna's feature running back, in the Salesianum game. So the 2 quarterbacks might end up being the leading rushers for both teams. Oh, there's a big hole right up the middle, running for 8, maybe 9 yards, and now pushing the pile close to a first down at midfield.
Smyrna going to stick with that run game. Once again, they were going to spread out this Appo defense, and then a little bit of an RPO format there for Marks at quarterback, able to make that decision. It was an easy handoff, as that hole was, as you mentioned, Glenn, wide open as the defense was spread out. Big running room, and now a new set of downs crossing midfield here for the Smyrna Eagles on the opening drive of the ballgame.
And that was Kamaj Kearney on the carry. He got 11 up to midfield. And now 4 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Now Kearney will motion and reset in the backfield. Hand off to Kearney. Starts at right, cuts back left, shifty little runner. He got about 4 yards.
Similar theme once again. This time Smyrna going to go quads to the bottom of your screen here to the near sideline. Bring Kearney back into the backfield, and once again going to that right side. He cuts back left, but they are loading up one side and then attacking the other.
Marks in the gun, and a hard cadence, I think, drew Appo off sides.
Well done. First one of the night, right? They've been on the similar cadence throughout this drive so far, and then a great job by Marks. Again, just a sophomore there, but as a quarterback, your cadence can be one of your biggest weapons throughout that ball game, and a great job there after going up tempo through those first 4 or 5 plays. You get a new set of downs, and then a perfect time to utilize it there and pick up some extra yardage.
Our officiating crew for tonight, the referee is Bob Collins, the umpire Dan O'Connor, the linesman Daryl Montgomery, the line judge Don Ben, back judge Tony Thornton, and up here in the booth, Paul Lombardo on the clock. That's the crew. And now second down and short for the Eagles. Mark takes the snap, rolls to the top of your screen. He's being chased. He throws out in the flat. Nice catch made by Enriquez, and he stepped out of bounds, but not before he got the first down at the 35.
Another nice play by Marks, once again able to use his legs. This time pre-snap recognition. Before the snap, Appo was loading up that box. They were bringing at least two blitzers there from the linebacking core, able to pick it up. Marks using the legs to get out of the pocket, just create a little bit of extra time, and when you bring that many guys up the middle there, somebody's going to be open. It happens to be the man Hernandez there, picking up a new set of downs here for the Eagles.
Good camera work up top by Mike Lang. Hopefully the weather holds off so it doesn't rain on him up there. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, also one in the slot. Now Kearney again comes in motion and will set in the backfield alongside, just behind Drew Marks. Fake the handoff. Marks rolls right. Pressure's coming, and he tried to get rid of it at the end before his knee hit. And I believe it is going to be an incomplete pass, or are they going to call that a fumble?
It looked like the ball might have come out there on his way down to the ground.
Yeah, they're going to call that a fumble, I think, and out of bounds for big loss. Now there's a flag down as well.
So let's see what that is. Seems to be talking to Coach Judy here, so most likely against the home team, Appoquinimink.
Looked like Edge Von Brandt was the first one to get in the backfield and then pressure him to the sideline.
He's been effective here tonight. He had that early stop on that first play of the game there, setting the edge. So he's been good on that far side of the field, setting that edge. And this one, though, I believe going to come back. Jason Winchell might have a call there.
Yeah, wait for Bob Collins, the referee. Intentional grounding. We do have the ref mic'd. Did you hear him?
That's right. How about that?
Yeah, great. So that's loss of down.
Yeah, a tough play there. And great coverage, though, on the back end from Appoquinimink. There actually was nowhere to go there that time for Marks. Tried to get out of the pocket and look downfield, and you said Von Brandt was right there in his face to force the error. And not only do you have the fumble, as we mentioned, but then the intentional grounding there, so a double whammy. But
yeah.
Only one of those will stand there.
It's going to back up the Eagles to the 48-yard line of Appo.
Second and a mile here, Glenn.
Yeah. Well, we're in West Middletown, so it's, second down and no dozen maybe. At least second down in East Middletown. Two receivers top and bottom of your screen. Drew Marks fakes the handoff. He's going to take it himself. At the last second, he dishes it off out on the sidelines to Enriquez, and he will get down close to the 41, so a gain of 7.
There's that RPO once again. You used to see it out of the Eagles 2 years ago. That was the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs RPO that they ran 2 or 3 years ago, right? They faked the handoff, and then you can have him run. But then you got that wide receiver sitting behind the line of scrimmage towards the far sideline that can be ready for almost an option pitch at any time. So that way the defense went to the run. He pulled it, then they went to Marks, leaving him wide open at the top there to pick up some extra yardage on the pitch.
Brings up 3rd down and 16 for the Eagles.
They're most likely 2-down territory, depending what they can do here.
Great minds think alike. I was about to say that. Because they do not have a kicker. Another throw down to the flat, caught at just about the 30-yard line, and then diving down around the 28. So 4th down and manageable.
Yeah, nice chunk there on that. They got exactly what they were looking for. Got right to that hook to curl route there on the far side again, and another RPO for Marks in the backfield, wide open on the comeback. And now you set up exactly what we were referring to, a 4th and very manageable. Let's see what they decide to do here.
That's 3 consecutive receptions by Enriquez over on the far sideline right in front of the Smyrna bench. So now 4th and 3. 9 minutes to go in this opening quarter, and Smyrna goes with, hey, the old earthquake. We haven't seen the earthquake in a while.
So they're going to stick in it.
And they need to pick up quite a bit of yardage on this earthquake play, and now they're going to have to call a timeout. Yeah, they run this with Dorsey and Kearney in the backfield.
And the run game, at least so far on this drive, I know it hasn't been out of the earthquake, as you mentioned, but some of those RPOs and single back handoffs have been working pretty well so far. It's put together a relatively nice drive. You just had, of course, that intentional grounding, that loss of a down, and that backed him up there kind of almost as a sack, if you will. So tough to rebound out of that, but a nice drive here to open up for Smyrna, chunking some time off the clock here. You're on the road against a very tough Appoquinimink team. And, again, what about that stat you gave at the beginning of the game? Appo has never beaten Smyrna, so how about that? A bigger game here at home, and you can kind of feel that coming into the stadium tonight. But a big 4th down coming up here. We'll see who can set the tone in this first quarter.
Coach Timpson of Appo told me down on the field before the game, he said, maybe if some things can go our way, if we can get things going just right, maybe we got a shot to finally beat this team. And then for Smyrna, Mike Judy told me, he said, if we win the opening flip, you might see us do something that we've never done. I said, what's that, Coach? He said, not defer. Well, they did take the ball.
There you go.
The offense is out there. Kearney fakes it, takes it himself, runs behind a blocker, has the 1st down inside the 25, and they push the pile down close to the 21.
And the drive continues, and maybe you're kind of thinking maybe they waited a little bit to break out that earthquake on this first drive when they needed it, and a perfect job. 4th and 3, and it didn't seem like Appo was that ready for it there defensively. A little play action there, and then able to keep it himself for Kearney. A very dangerous guy in the Wildcat, and here comes that up-tempo right back on the ball.
Well, how about you got 4th and 3 and you get 7 yards?
Got to like that as a coach.
Boy, we'll keep that in mind as this game goes along. All right, Marks up to the line with an audible from the sidelines. Has Kearney alongside of him. 2-step drop, sets up, throws down the sideline, and nice catch made in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. And that's Kearney. 4 receptions for him in that drive.
Beautiful ball over the top there to Henriquez from Marks. And again, you talked about it during the snap there, Glenn. Pre-snap recognition. Marks going to go up to the line of scrimmage, either change the protection. I think he saw one-on-one coverage on the outside, and when he's got Henriquez in one-on-one coverage, he's going to take that every time. In the shotgun, a nice easy 3-step drop, and that was a beautiful ball by Marks, dropping it in the breadbasket for Henriquez. If you put it anywhere near him, he's going to haul it in. And what an impressive drive for Smyrna here to open up this ball game as we get ready for the 2-point conversion. The run, the pass, it all worked. They go right down the field here to start.
Yeah, he dropped that pass on a dime. Caught Enriquez right in stride. Well, they run the earthquake play. Nice tackle made. He upended the ball carrier, and that was number 1 on the stop, Dylan Griffith. He's been a stud for a while. All-state for a few years. I think a couple of years ago he led the state in interceptions.
That was a heck of a play there, right on a two-point conversion there at the goal line, coming up and making that play almost single-handedly. They freed him up, and as a backer, somebody in that secondary, if you've got a free one-on-one in the hole, you got to make that play. Hard to do, but he certainly did it there, and big to keep those 2 points off the board if you're Appo. So 6-0, Smyrna on a very nice touchdown drive to open things up, Glenn. Now we'll see how Appo responds. Again, both of these teams not, I guess, challenged too much. A crazy comeback last week from St. George's that wasn't able to get complete there, but let's see what Appo does now, trailing 6-0 here.
Wow, what a drive. That's and to see Smyrna come up with something a little different. They were going to go with Christian Carroll. The last time we saw them play was against Louisiana, and he had to come into the game and be their featured running back because Yancey had gotten hurt. So Coach told me tonight, he said, you might see a little bit more Kearney back there. Well, how about a whole lot more?
Yeah,
Coach?
You wouldn't think that. He was the almost the sole back that entire drive there and very effective when he had the ball in his hands and when his number was called.
Well, Jason, you remember from last night, I guess you were watching the game or listening to it on the way up the road. We had, in that Lake Forest Howard game, we had 5 touchdowns. Nobody converted on the point after. All 5 conversion run attempts failed in that game. And we start out with one here. Little pooch kick, and it's recovered by one of the up return specialists and in Smyrna territory. Appo with great field position at the 49.
Yeah, I don't think that went 10 yards either, but a
It
nice
didn't.
play coming up and grabbing that ball. No flags or anything, but a nice job coming up and making that play. Again, that was out of nowhere. It wasn't a scheduled onside kick there, so you see Coach Judy and Smyrna trying something new. You talked about that. Well, how about the surprise onside kick after the go-ahead score? Appo, though, ready for it, and that's what you got to be ready for when you're in that front line of kickoff return. That was a nice play. Missed the number there, but a heck of a play to get on that football.
Desai Drummond, the quarterback. Colin Kaiser, Cam Clements, and Kalen Brown will all see time at running back, but they're going to load up with trips to the top of your screen, a lone receiver to the bottom. And the featured running back to start out appears to be Colin Kaiser. Motion receiver to the near side is Rogers, though in the flat, caught quickly out of bounds after about a 6-yard pickup inside the Smyrna 45 to the 44. On the reception, Francis Drummond, the cousin of the quarterback.
How about that? There's a little something in the family. There you go. But Appoquinimink going to come out throwing the football, 7 yards on first down. Easy completion, get your quarterback into a little bit of a rhythm early in the ball game. I like that play call here early.
Almost a mirror image of what Smyrna tried to do early in their drive to score. Just those little sideline patterns to Enriquez. Same formation, trips to the top, lone receiver to the bottom. New running back is Clemens. Clemens gets the football, runs behind blockers, gets hit as he gets to the 40, and is going to come up just shy of the first. Yeah, they're going to spot it right down at the 40-yard line.
Big shot by the junior Mason Spears coming up from that linebacker position. You know, you always teach to wrap up, but a lot of juice there, didn't have to. Big hit for the tackle, and now 3rd and short.
Third down and a yard to go. And Appo has not changed things up. They continue to go with trips to the wide side of the field. And a single receiver to the short side or the bottom of your screen. Drummond changed things up a little bit. Now one of his offensive linemen snapped back out of his stance, and that'll be 5 yards back the other way.
Yeah, we saw Marks do it on that first drive for Smyrna, worked to perfection, changing up that cadence in a big spot. Picked up some nice yardage there that led, of course, on that touchdown drive. Here, though, Appoquinimink 3rd and short, same idea. They were thinking, hey, let's get a first down here with the cadence, but got hurt up there on the offensive line. Smyrna wasn't exactly ready for it either. They jumped, but full start first.
My man's sweating up here already. What happened to our breezeway here? I guess maybe they shut the doors. I don't know. All right, let's see what they do after the penalty. So now 3rd and about 5.5. Same alignment. Trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver to the bottom. Desai Drummond looks over the line. Drops back. Looks downfield. Oh, and that hit a helmet and is almost intercepted on the tip drill but it goes incomplete.
Yeah, that one to me just looked like it slipped right out of the hands of Desai Drummond again as he wound up to throw that football. It is a little wet out there. It was misting earlier as we came in, and coming in, that was going to be a big-time theme, right? Both of these teams like to put the ball in the air, so if that was going to rain, how would that affect both of these programs?
Yeah.
But that time there, I think just got a little bit wetness on the hand. Just looked like it slipped out, and now we'll see what happens. 4th down and about 5, and it looks like the offense is going to stay on the field.
Yeah, I don't know whose helmet that hit, but Mason Spears, the middle linebacker, almost came up with a pick. All right, here we go. 4th down play. 6:43 to go here in this opening quarter.
3 up front for Smyrna here.
Yeah. Going with a lot of backers. Drummond looks downfield. Pressure's coming now late. Now he has to roll out of it. Penalty flag is down. Throws in the middle of the field. Completes the ball to Hoff. Hoff at the 25-20. Had a blocker, but he could not elude Demir Carter. However, I think this one's coming back, Nick.
Yeah, it might be a hold. They brought Nate Chandler on the blitz on the right side, and initially the Appo offense did a good job of picking it up, but that freed up one of the interior defensive linemen, and of course he had to be held as Drummond tried to evade the pocket and get out to his left. But what a nice throw anyway, if you just were to disregard the flag. Chasing it out, throwing across his body, finding Hoff. That's the kind of things this Appo offense can do. But a few crucial penalties here on this opening drive. You had the 3rd and 1 that becomes 3rd and 6, and now you pick up a hold in here. It was 3rd and 1, now becomes 4th and at least 15.
Yep, all the way back on their side of the midfield stripe, down at the 45 of the Jags. I'll tell you, great job by Demir Carter to make that stop. 2 other wide receivers were down there trying to lead the way, but like I said, even if Hoff had gotten into the end zone, it would have been all for naught. Empty set. Oh, that's it. They're in the punt formation. After being 4th and terribly long. It is fielded, no fair catch. Whoa, it gets right through the first 3 defenders, spun down just shy of the 40-yard line. Nice return by number 15. That's Dorsey.
And that was a nice punt as well. Decent hang time, a perfect spiral. But, of course, just right in the direction of him, and he's able to field it cleanly and had some green grass in front of him. One move when you're in a punt return, you got to find that one move and go. That's exactly what he did. Found the crease, and a nice punt return has Smyrna in good field position for drive number 2 after drive number 1 was a very nice long drive there to open up the ball game.
All right, we're midway through this opening quarter. Smyrna almost directly in front of our vantage point. Marks, they fumbled in the backfield. I think Appo came up with it. They did. Omari Cofield recovers the fumble in a big turn of events here.
Cofield at the right spot at the right time. He was lightning off of that line of scrimmage. He beat his man initially, and that kind of put a little bit of jitters there for Marks as he go for the play action. Not sure if that was a design handoff or play action, but the snap just almost went right out of his hands as he tried to turn and fake the handoff. It falls right out, and a big play for Appo. We said a little bit earlier, maybe some wetness out there on that throw from Drummond, maybe something similar there, but a tough turnover for Smyrna. A nice break for Appo here early in the ballgame after giving up a touchdown and then punting.
Yeah. Let's see if they can take advantage of this turnover and a little reversal of momentum.
Sudden change, right? I always like to take a shot here, right? I would go here. They spread them out, double slot. Let's see if they try to take a shot to Rogers or Hoff.
Well, most of the secondary is up within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage. Nobody's deep. Now we've got a whistle before this play really gets underway.
Now let's see if this is a penalty, a timeout, or an official stoppage.
That was Montabell in motion, the motion receiver. He caught a touchdown pass last week.
So maybe a equipment infraction or something of some sort where you got a player versus Smyrna running off the sideline.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm Apple, it doesn't make me too happy, right? I had my snap. We already had the play in motion. Now Smyrna's got a good look at where we're about to run.
We can't get sudden change now.
No,
it's over.
You're right.
Moment's gone.
Again, so they stopped the middle of the play to send a Smyrna defender off the field. Interesting there.
Yeah. All right. Waiting for the officials. And our white hat is saying, okay, let's get this play underway. Let's see if they send Montabell in motion again, and they do. Montabell to the top of your screen. Drop straight back. He's looking center of the field. Oh, nice pass break up there. That's Amir Thomas breaking that one up.
And a little bit of a seatbelt saying he's locking things up there on the back end. That one, again, was a nice play, a very nice play to break that up there, as you mentioned. But, yeah, that throw just has to be a little bit out in front of the receiver. That one was just a little bit behind him there from Drummond. If he puts that out in front and lets his receiver go out and catch that in stride, he might have been caught, but that might have been 6 as well. So Drummond just got to sharpen up things a little bit here, and I expect him to here shortly.
Two receivers to the top of your screen again. That's Hoff and Montebell. Rogers to the bottom. And now Drummond, after checking over the line, takes the snap, and it's a running play right up the middle. Good yardage and almost 9 yards. That's number 25, Cam Clements.
Smyrna sitting on the pass yet again. Only, I believe, the second run play so far in this game for the Jaguars, and had a great time on 2nd and long. Sets up a 3rd and very short. Nice play call there by the Appo offense, and now another big 3rd down, which what we saw from them before, but a penalty backed them up.
Nice blocking on the left side of that line. Malone, Hall, Von Brandt. So 3rd down and 1. Handoff again. Clements starts it right, cuts it back left, and should easily have the 1st down yardage.
Nice initial push by that Appoquinimink offensive line, giving him a little bit of space to operate, and that was enough to get forward, find a hole, and pick up 1st down yardage. So Appo now starting to put together a little bit of a drive as they get near the red zone here after the big turnover there by the Smyrna offense.
From the Eagle 22-yard line, trips to the top of your screen. That's Hoff, Montebell, and Rogers. Clements remains in the game. He's just to the left of quarterback Desai Drummond. Clock running, under 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Clements again hesitates a little, waits for the blocking to develop. He's inside the 20, down close to the 16-yard line.
And once again, how about this run game for Appoquinimink? Smyrna obviously ready for the pass. That's what you think of when you think of Drummond in this Appo offense, at least this year, not what we saw out of last year with McConomy, who was phenomenal, but a big loss coming in that ground game for Appoquinimink. But 3 straight run plays on that inside zone and picking up some nice yardage here. And now another 2nd down and manageable. That's what you want as an offense.
Oh, yeah, 2nd down and less than 5.
So maybe a little play action here. Let's see.
They're going to stay with Clements as their feature running back. Trips again to the top of your screen. Yeah, the line doing a pretty good job of opening up holes for Clements. He's going 3-4 yards before he's hit. It's a pass. Drummond look right, goes back left, and he's caught from behind and sacked. And I think that was number 25, Sapinski, who got that shirt tail.
Square Ward also with them there as they were able to track down Drummond. And again, we've seen Appo in those 2nd and 3rd and manageables, and those plays have not been productive for them, at least here in the first quarter. Now after the sack, 3rd and long once again for the Appo offense here, sitting just outside that red zone. Drummond kind of getting out of the pocket a little bit quick there and going to the left. He kind of figured like he knew what side of the field he wanted to attack, as that's where he was looking the whole way through. So we'll see now, 3rd and long, and see if Appo can pick up a big 1st down. But as we mentioned earlier, Glenn, 2-down territory here for the Jags.
I'm sure. 3rd down and 11. This time trips to the bottom of your screen. That's Rogers in motion. Now he will come back in the other direction. They're going to pass it to him. That's actually a lateral because it was thrown behind him. They were trying to set up, I guess, a screen. I was ready for him to throw a pass as well.
And that's where my eyes went. It was kind of a weird formation there. So they send Rogers in orbit motion. He goes from left, recycles back left to right. They set him up deep in the flat on that screen, deep in the backfield there. Yeah. It looked as if he was ready to throw, but I looked down the field, and there was nobody really running around. Maybe one on a post on the far side, but just a lot of blocking now as we have some laundry. So a weird play design there that time, but any way you can get the ball in the hands of Rogers would be beneficial.
This is definitely dead ball. This flag was thrown well after the play was over.
This could be a big one here, big penalty.
I thought I saw some Smyrna players clapping. Now, the officials coming over and talking to head coach Brian Timpson.
Jason, did you see anything on that play?
No, I didn't.
I'm wondering if it was something that was verbal.
Yeah, it looked like, because again, I didn't see the flag till late, and with what we just saw here, it's going to be 4th and long. This is a big penalty. If it is against Smyrna, it would be huge.
You got that right.
And they're taking their time. It looks like what you would imagine unsportsmanlike.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Like that.
Yeah, they wrote a number down. Dead ball on Appo.
Wow.
Now, I can read lips, and I think, it was Francis Drummond. He said number 5. He didn't have his mic on that time. Yeah. Mic was off.
So once again, though, Glenn, it's the penalties on Appo. I mean, they've been critical here in the first half.
Shooting themselves in the foot, because I think they were thinking about maybe a field goal try.
That's what it looked like. It looked like they had the field goal unit out there, but now they're going to back them up 15, and that's after the loss on the screen pass to Rogers.
Right. All this stoppage coming with 3:07 left in the first quarter. Smyrna on top 6-0. So now the ball all the way out to the Eagle 39-yard line. And I guess you're thinking punt again here.
Yeah, that's what I would
Try
imagine.
to pin them deep. Not boot it into the end zone for the touch.
And that's a tough break if you're Appoquinimink, right? You get that huge turnover on that Smyrna side of the field and just not able to come up with any points, especially after letting Smyrna go the length of the field for a touchdown on their opening drive. So Appo going to need to tighten some things up there. Smyrna off to a good start here tonight on the road. And you mentioned Appo never beat Smyrna. Smyrna's kind of playing with that confidence here early on in this one.
It looks like somebody called the Smyrna Eagles have called timeout.
A lot of stoppages here, like that Thursday night football game I heard last night.
my
There were a
gosh.
lot of flags in that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Not a bad one to miss then.
That's the second timeout that the Eagles have called, and we're still 3:07 to go in the first quarter, so they only have one remaining.
And well, Glenn, we had a very long second quarter last Saturday morning
I
at
heard.
Conrad and Brandywine. So anything after that will just seem rather quick to me now.
Man. Funny little piece of information. I was down talking to Brian Timpson, and I told him about the Howard freshman quarterback last night, Jameson Bryant, who did a really nice job, probably his best game of the year. And he said, I played alongside his dad on the line in high school up at Glasgow. It's a small world in this
It
state,
is a
isn't
small
it?
state as well. Yeah, you're right about that.
So a little shout out there if Mr. Bryant's listening. Well,
They are
going
gonna
to
give it
try.
a go here,
Wow.
Glenn.
This
46.
yeah, it'll be a 56-yard attempt.
Glenn, this will be a top 10 play nominee, number one, if he
There's
makes
the
it.
snap. It's down. No rush. There is the kick, and it's going to come up short. It hit at the back line.
So a few things here to want to pack right, Glenn. Obviously, they thought he had the leg. Jason?
I believe in high school football, it goes back to the 20. So it's almost like punting the ball in the end zone. So it's worth the try if you think he has the leg. And he was close.
There you go, and I agree with Jason there, right? If that's the case, and we talked about this last week's game, I believe was a similar scenario, you got to give it a shot, right? And that was close, maybe a few yards short there from Jack Talley, and he's got a leg on him.
Yeah, all-state soccer player, so he's not
that
all-state
explains it.
for nothing, right? Wow, to let him try that was amazing.
Just a few yards shorter, that would have been your top play of the week.
Sure, yeah, that might have been an all-time Delaware high school record.
The Blue Hens might have been looking for him next year.
All right, so unfortunately, the penalty bug bit Appo again, and they were not able to take advantage of that turnover. So Smyrna gets the ball back. 3:01 to go in the quarter. Eagles already on top, 6-0.
And now, Glenn, similar position to where Smyrna started that opening drive when they took it 80 yards for a touchdown.
Right.
So this is the first time I believe we've really seen that offense. First play fumble last time around. So these guys have kind of been on the sideline, or at least Marks and company, for a while. Let's see if they can pick up where they left off with that rhythm they had on that first drive.
Looks like Enriquez and Caserta are stacked at the bottom of your screen. Lone receiver to the top.
Yeah, press coverage on the top there. Safety's a little shallow.
Enriquez in motion to the top of your screen. Marks waits for him, fakes the pass out in the flat. It's a handoff up the middle, and boy, the first one to get to him, I believe, was Zach Landry.
Oh, he was, and he got to him all right. Lifted up, driven down. That's a beautiful play by Landry. That's how you teach it from that middle linebacker spot. Read and react, and he certainly did that there. Came up, made a big play for a short stop.
Kearney actually got almost 3 yards on the play.
It didn't seem like that in real time, but not too bad of a chunk there.
That's a very nice defensive play by Landry.
And those Appo corners are coming up. They're showing press coverage. Then before the snap, they're dropping back. There we go again there. Here on the near
Same
side.
alignment. Stacked receivers at the bottom. And Enriquez in motion to the top again. Let's see if they throw it out in the flat this time. There's nobody out there.
That's a
He
fumble.
bounced it.
Ooh, okay
They're
then.
call incomplete. Tough from our angle.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, probably the worst angle here from where we're just in terms of that play to see where that ball landed. But it looked like it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, at least to me. But officials down there, they got a better look than I do. They made the right call.
First incomplete pass thrown by Mark, so he's 4 out of 5 now. all of the other completions were to number 7, Enriquez, and he was trying to hit him again.
Yeah, you saw when they were up pressure or pressing up there on the coverage, he wasn't going to throw that. Once they started coming off, he's going to throw that screen all night.
Yeah. Didn't quite get that one all the way out there. So once again, we'll have 2 receivers, top and bottom. They're going to change the play up.
Last time they did this, went for a touchdown.
This would be a long one.
Let's see what he sees.
3rd down and 7. Throws it back to the right, sets up the screen. Oh, big hole, and there goes Enriquez. Oh, is it going to be caught from behind? No, he goes all the way. 77 yards for the touchdown.
Had a
you
feeling,
called that
right?
one, Coach.
There you go, Glenn. Again, when they see something, that time they saw the pressure coming up the middle. Appo defense bringing some guys on the blitz. And what are you going to do when they're bringing guys on the blitz? You set up a screen pass to the outside there and a few blockers and a lot of running room for Hernandez. And that time, a perfect play call there against the defense Appo was playing. And sometimes it works out that way for a play caller. It certainly did there for the Smyrna Eagles.
Wow. Yeah, that just opened up so quick. And once Enriquez got in the open, I thought he would be gone. He was almost run down from behind.
That was unbelievable. I don't know who that was on Appo, if I could get a number on that, but that was unbelievable to stick with the play and almost make the tackle. I really thought he was going to bring him down inside the 10 there.
Yeah.
It was close, and now we'll see Smyrna back out on that 2-point try.
Yeah, they go back to the earthquake. Carney takes it. He's going to throw a pass on the flat. It's intercepted. This could be points the other way for the Jags. Can't tell who that is running with the ball, but he will not be caught. Is that number 2? That is number 2. Yalik Carter. Wow. And he's already had a pick 6 this season.
That's nothing new to him, right? If it wasn't a 2-point conversion, he'd have a second pick 6 today. But talk about momentum. This game has been all Smyrna here in the first quarter. They go down, they score again. Another huge play, but Appo trying to suck some of that momentum back, and that's how you do it. A 2-point conversion that gives you points. The officials talking here at midfield. Don't think there's any laundry on the field, but this should be points for Appoquinimink.
Yeah. Now here's our white hat, Bob Collins. He looks to the sideline. I don't think he's sure what to say yet.
I mean, a heck of a play. And, again, what a play call, right? They have Kearney thrown, probably something that nobody was expecting except for Yalik Carter, who was in the perfect spot. He had that man in coverage. And what anticipation to jump that, pick it off, and then take it the other way.
What a perfect job by him to turn around and find the ball. You know, a lot of times the defensive backs will just play the player and keep their back to the play.
Now, there's nothing on the scoreboard.
No. I thought if you returned the 2-point
so did
try.
And I do. We do a lot of different levels of action,
right.
you know, in terms of high school, college, and everything else. But that's what I thought as well. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, Eagles to kick it off. Last time, I guess they tried an onside attempt. Hard pooch kick down to the 40 and then just alertly covered up by Appo right there. So the Jags will have good field position, 1:55 to go here in this opening quarter. But they've got to be a little bit more disciplined as far as the penalties go.
So we were just reassured there are no points for a return. Got a little college ball stuck in my head there. I do a lot of college.
Yeah.
But either way, a heck of a play to save 2 points and then maybe add it to the top 10 plays, right?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's a highlight
we
play.
Go ahead and run it.
When you tell your friends and family, just say it wasn't a 2-point conversion. It was a goal line stand.
Right. There you go. All right.
Big drive.
Yep. Drummond trips to the bottom of your screen. Handoff right up the middle. That's the big back, and he goes all the way out across midfield. Number 36, Caden Brown, the senior fullback.
Now a little smash and dash here going on for Appoquinimink here. It's been the run game that's been working at least, you know, a little bit here in the first quarter form when they've been able to put together some drive. They have been. It's just been the penalties that have just killed every drive they've had so far here in the quarter.
Yeah, they're doing well getting a push up front. Again, trips, this time to the top of your screen. Hand off again to Brown. They go back to the well. He gets about 6, maybe 7 yards.
I'll tell you, Brown's shifty with the ball in his hands. Not only does he bring that power aspect to the running back position, but also had some nice cuts there, a jump cut, shifty, able to juke some guys and show off that he's agile as well. He's got the best of both worlds back there.
8-yard pickup they give him credit for, so 2nd down and 2. And if you're Appo, just keep it on the ground, right?
That's what they did in the first drive, right? And then they started to throw it. They got the hold call. They had a sack, so a couple things went wrong when they tried to throw the football, even though, of course, that is going to be their, go-to thing in this offense. We also haven't seen a lot of play action. They've run the ball so well. I would love to see them run a play action, get one of these guys, Rogers or Hoff, open down the field.
Rogers, Montebilt, and Hoff split to the top of your screen, and now an Appo timeout is taken with just 49 seconds to go in this opening quarter. I think the play clock was running
Yeah,
down.
It must have been right. We don't have a great angle here on that. I guess they don't have play clocks here anyway.
No.
But, yeah, timeout here on the field. I believe is that Appo's first or second?
That's their first,
So they're first. So they'll have 2 left. Smyrna has 1 remaining.
Right.
So we've had our fair share of timeouts here early. But what do you know, Glenn? You look down on the field, 2nd and 2, which has been a nightmare for Appoquinimink here today. 2nd and 2, 3rd and 1, you name it. It's been penalty, sack. This is the spot where they're going to have to pick up a first down. Let's see what they decide. If I'm them, I pound the football again. I give it to Brown here on a 3rd and short. You got 2 downs, or 2nd and short, excuse me. You got a couple downs to work with. Pound him, see if you can pick up a new set of downs, and then go from there. But this, of course, has not been a pleasant situation as you think it would be for an offense on 2nd or 3rd and short.
Other games tonight, we have a live stream with our downstate crew, Benny Mitchell and Coach Tack. Woodbridge at Sussex Central. And then the other games tonight, a good 1A matchup. First State Military Apolytech, Seaford at versus ECHS. Dover up at Abyssinia against Salesianum. Wilmington Friends of Brandywine, Odessa at Sussex Tech, St. Mark's at CR, and finally Delcastle at McCain. All right, coming out of the timeout, 2nd and short. Handoff, Brown shook off one defender, hit at the line, penalty flag flies, and he comes up right down at the 40. It's going to be close to a first, but we'll have to check the laundry here.
Yeah, it took a nice hit. The big back Brown once again falling forward. Well, let's see, looks in the area of holding.
It was thrown very quickly.
And it
was right when he hit the defender at the line.
So we missed the camera there, but it was a holding call against Appoquinimink. Okay. So another penalty in a 2nd and 3rd and short situation. I mean, it has been just a dreadful scenario on these 2nd and 3rd shorts here in the opening quarter. See if Appo can shake that off. Again, we're under a minute now to go in the first. But what just was 2nd and 1, and you would maybe even argue a first down after the carry, just became a lot harder.
These are drive killers.
Yeah, and they've had 3 of them in this quarter.
Yeah, especially after that last drive when they recovered the fumble and the turnover. And now they got down close to the 20, close to the red zone, and then the penalties. So this backs them up on their side of midfield at the Jag 48, 2nd down and 12. Trips to the top. And it looks like Brown is out. Clements is back in the game as the feature running back. Rogers in motion. Drummond looks for him. Now checks down. Nope, nobody there. Underthrown and incomplete.
So, you had 2 guys running into each other about 20 yards down the field. Looked like you had opposite sides of the field digs, one on the top of the screen, one on the bottom of the screen, about 15 yards. They ran into each other. You had Rogers here at the bottom in the slot, wide out here at the bottom. He was covered and hooked a girl. Great defense on the back end from Smyrna there. They're making things tough on Drummond. They were just dropping everybody back and trying to let him sit back there and find some guys open. But Smyrna able to almost get pressure with just those 4 pass rushers and everybody else in coverage.
Drummond completed his first pass attempt of the night, but he has thrown 3 straight incompletes. And they're not clicking like they were in that Dover game.
They got to get the ball into the hands of these playmakers.
Lone receiver to the bottom of your screen, trips to the top. Clements stays in the game. He runs out into the flat as a safety valve. They complete the pass. Nice comeback pattern. Noah Hoff, and he gets the first down yardage inside the 40 and down to about the 37.
That was a heck of a play by Drummond and Hoff. Once again, Smyrna is able to get home with just 4 rushers. They drop everybody back. They bring those 4 up front, and 2 of those guys on the interior line got right through, pressuring Drummond, who once again was able to get out of the pocket to his left and find Noah Hoff across the middle. That was a heck of a throw and catch. And how about the speed, the acceleration of Hoff after he had that ball or hold it in the middle of the field, able to pick up first down yardage. That is a huge play for this Appo offense here as we end the first quarter.
Yep, a huge play to end the quarter. Smyrna leading by 2 scores, 12-0. We'll have second quarter action when we come back after this on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware.
Back here for the second quarter of action at Appoquinimink High School, and so far just a very humid evening. A lot of what you call the dew point is way up there, but so far the rain has kind of like held off for us, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah,
Glenn Frazier, Nick Halliday, Jason Winchell producing, Mike Lang on camera, and the crew doing a good job hustling down here tonight with bad traffic, as it always is on a Friday night in
Nick
the First
Halliday
State.
At home tonight.
Yeah. He saw the weather forecast and said, nah, I ain't going down there. I'm going to sit in the living room. Barco Lounger, beverage of choice.
Sure, he's tuning in tonight.
All right, we're ready to go to start the second quarter. First and 10 for the Jags. Drummond straight back to pass. Pressure comes late. He throws it out in the flat. Nice catch made, I think, by Rogers it was. And he goes down close to the 30-yard line. It'll pick up 7.
Nice job by Drummond there just to hang in the pocket. That was kind of a slow developing play. It was a clear out on the near sideline here from the outside receiver, and then 2 outs from the 2 inside receivers, one deeper than the other. And Drummond able to hang in there, got some more pressure, slow developing, but able to pick up a nice chunk.
The whole thing looked slow, even from the snap. I think the Smyrna defenders weren't ready. They were just standing there. And I'm like, okay, was there a whistle?
Well, they have been a few.
Yeah. Second down and 3. Trips to the bottom of your screen. Drummond hands it off. Brown crashes through the right side of the line, inside the 30, down close to the Smyrna 28-yard line.
3rd and inches, Glenn.
Yep.
Can
Been
they
here
right the
before,
ship,
too.
right? Yeah, is it now time to right the ship? It's been a tough spot for him in the first half, but now 3rd and inches. And we'll see. That time they go trips to the bottom, as you mentioned. They run a little bit of what Smyrna was doing in that first quarter. They're going to send everybody to the left side and then run zone to the right side. And now let's see what they do here. They backed up the sticks just a yard more.
Oh, they did.
So they're going to make this a little tougher here. But still, this is what you want.
Yeah, closer back to the 29-yard line. So 3rd and about 2. Same alignment, trips to the bottom. Brown in the backfield. They fake it to him. Drummond takes it himself, turns the corner, puts the helmet down, has the first down yardage inside the Smyrna 25.
And that was a nice play call there, right? They've been handing it off on the inside to the big back, Brown. And for the first time today, how about you pull it? A nice job there by Drummond on the design, in my opinion, quarterback keeper there, and able to pick up some extra yardage. And how about that? 3rd and inches, they're able to convert it, and they pick up a first down, nearing the red zone now for Appoquinimink. A nice job there as that guard was able to pull, create some space, and Drummond following right behind him on the design quarterback keep.
See if they can finish this drive without any more yellow laundry coming out on the field. That's been their nemesis.
Jinx it now, Glenn.
Uh-oh.
That's what they say about us broadcasters, you know?
Yeah. Well, I did say he had 3 straight incompletes, and then he completed a pass.
There you go. So they'll like that one.
Reverse jinx. Trips again to the short side, the bottom of your screen. Brown in the game. To the right of Drummond. Back to pass, throws a slant pattern down to the 15-yard line. That's the first catch tonight for Montabell.
And that was a great job that time by that Appo offensive line. Smyrna has been bringing pressure here in the first half. They've done, offensive line has struggled a little bit with it here up front for the Jaguars, but that time they bring a few extra guys. They pick up the blitz and allow Drummond to find his man down the field.
So we've got 2nd and short, 2nd and a yard to go. Ball at the Eagle 15-yard line. Appo trying to get on the board here. Down 12-0. Same alignment as it has been the last few plays. Brown has it. Stutter step move. Tries to get the edge. He's going to get a couple of yards, and he should have enough for the first down.
I had a feeling that's what they were going to run. Once again, they go trips to the bottom. Just inside handoff to Brown, who had a chance to bounce it outside, which he does there as the end collapsing, and able to pick up first down yardage. So now Brown going to come out here and catch a breather. New back going to come on for the Jaguars. 1st and 10 to see if the Appo can find some points here in the second quarter. Smyrna, of course, out to that double-digit lead here early.
Looks like they're going. No, Clements is back in the game.
Same formation.
This is as deep as they've been.
Yep.
From the 13-yard line. Trips. Go ahead.
They run inside zone out of this last 3 times. Let's see if they throw this time or if they go right back to the back.
Clements to the left of Drummond. Fake to him. They throw wide open.
There
Rogers and has a touchdown.
There we said the first play action pass of the game, Glenn. We've been waiting for it, right? They've been pounding the football on this drive, and what do? The exact same formation. I had an inkling that was going to come. You had trips to the bottom. They've been running that inside handoff, and what do? You just play action it, and you get Jasir Rogers in the flat, 4.3 speed, and of course made it look easy because it was easy. A great play call. Rogers able to finish it off, and how about this drive from the Appo? A big answer after going down 12-0. Very impressive. No penalties. They convert on 3rd down. And then a big touchdown there off of the play action. 4
consecutive completions at the end of that drive for Desai Drummond to pull the Appo Jags to within 1 possession. It's now 12-6, and now on to attempt the extra point is Jack Talley. Noah Hoff is the holder. High snap. Hoff brings it down, kick is up, has the distance, and the kick is good. It's 12-7. Appo on the board, 8:37 to go in the half. We'll be back for the kickoff right after this. Nice drive.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this.
All right, back for the kickoff. And it might go out of bounds, and it will. Well, let's see if the Eagles just want to take it at the 35. We had a kickoff out of bounds in the game last night, and they actually made them re-kick it 5 yards further back. Hardly anybody does that anymore.
Do you remember where we were last year? And Jason, I don't know if you're with me or Glenn, if you were, where they re-kicked it about, it was like 5 times in a row. Well, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Slazy. I think it was a Sally's game. And they just kept going back and forth, and they were Smyrna Sally's. Yes, and it's the playoff game. They said, "No, keep kicking it, keep kicking." I mean, we did 5 kickoffs. Shout out to Marty Sheehan, who also told us you cannot score 2 points in high school. But yeah, how about that?
Wow.
So now let's take a look, see if Smyrna can answer after what was a very impressive Appo drive.
All right, Drew Marks has Kearney with him in the backfield. Trips to the top of your screen. Puts it into the belly of Kearney, takes it out, rolls near side, throws a sideline pass, incomplete.
Late flags on the field near the line of scrimmage, near that Smyrna offensive line.
We haven't seen too many penalties go against Smyrna offensively.
They've been the more disciplined team here throughout the first half, for sure.
And that's surprising because Coach Judy told me before the season started, he said, Glenn, I got a really young team this year. This is going to be a real teaching moment for the coaching staff.
And that's exactly what this is going to be. So we have an illegal man downfield, and when you have the play action, that RPO offense, that can happen sometimes. You mentioned the youth of that Smyrna team. So that being the first one tonight, can't complain too much if you're Coach Judy. But, again, that'll happen, especially when you run a lot of these RPOs.
Boy, they're cracking down on that in the NFL. I've seen more of those penalties this year, I think, than I have in the entire last season.
And the illegal formation, of course, with that with the tackles hanging out in the backfield. They want you up on that line of scrimmage this year. That was a point of emphasis in the offseason.
All right. Drew Marks, looks like an empty set. 4 receivers to the top of your screen. Kearney to the bottom. Now he comes in motion. And we'll stop in the backfield. Kearney takes it, but 2 defenders were right there when he got the handoff. No gain.
Great pressure there. It was initial pressure from that defensive line from Appo, and those guys in that next level were ready to rock there off of that snap. 3 Jaguars able to meet that back off the handoff and make the play. Jaguars got some juice after that offense scored a touchdown here, trying to take that momentum back here.
I was just about to say, you start to feel it flip. 2nd down at 15. If Appo can get off the field, plenty of time to tie this thing or take the lead.
And if you're that Appo defense, you're queuing in on number 7, I believe, in the slot here to the bottom.
Marks rolls top of your screen. Now throws it to his safety valve. Good play. One-on-one tackle up there on the tackle, number 18, Cole Temple.
So I believe that ball was caught. Right? I know it came out late, so they will mark it down as a catch. And now 3rd and long for Smyrna. Appo defense has Smyrna in their first 3rd and long here of the ball game. See if they can force a stop and a punt. And if you're Smyrna, let's see what they go with here. Going to have to throw the ball, put it down the field most likely, and he'll be looking once again for Hernandez depending on this coverage.
Only a 3-yard pickup on that pass. Marks, they're going to go with a running play. Number 19 in the game. That is Crenshaw, the sophomore. And he might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, but now it's 4th and 10.
Nice play that time by Zach Landry, the junior middle linebacker, coming in and making the play. So Smyrna electing to run the ball, maybe thinking they could catch Appo off guard and set up a 4th and short or a 4th and manageable. But Appo was ready to go. They meet him at the line of scrimmage, and now a punt situation with certainty. Unless you get a fake here as the punt unit out for Smyrna.
Kamaj Kearney is the punter. Did a real nice job in the Salesianum loss. Had some punts that he really boomed. He gets a lot of hang time. Now I hope I haven't jinxed him. Snap from center.
Out.
And a fair catch called for and made by Noah Hoff outside his 30-yard line. So Appo, they got off the field, Nick. 6:24 to go, plenty of time, momentum on their side.
You're right. They come off of that scoring drive. Last time this offense was on the field, they went for 6. And now Drummond and the rest of those guys coming back out. And you look for Hoff and Rogers just finding a way to get those guys the football. They did that on the last drive. It resulted in a touchdown. Of course, Jasir Rogers heading to Penn State the next year after a successful career at both Red Line and now here at Appo. Went up to that 7-on-7 camp with James Franklin, over the summer. They said, hey, why don't you come work out for us individually? He said yes, ran a 4.3 in the private workout. He was offered later that day. So, again, a heck of an athlete in Jasir Rogers, and excited to see what he can do for the Appo Jaguars this year. I believe going in motion now or just setting up here at the top of the screen.
Yeah, he had a couple of terrific receptions for touchdowns in that Dover game. Smyrna doing a pretty good job defensively on him so far in this one. Drummond. Handoff up the middle, slashing through there is Brown all the way out across midfield. And that was not a fumble. The ground caused that at the end of the play. Big run.
He's been fantastic tonight for Appoquinimink. We talked about coming in how they have a lot of their success offensively through the air. Well, the run game has been big for them tonight. Big situations. It was big on that first drive, and it was big there. And now back into Smyrna territory. Brown looked like Jonathan Stewart back there here for the Appo Jaguars. Run game has been phenomenal. New set of downs.
43 yards unofficially for Brown on 5 carries in this first half. Drummond straight back, looks downfield, throws it down the center of the field, has his man Noah Hoff behind the secondary, tripped up as he got inside the 15.
Two-man route to the bottom of the screen. It was Hoff on the deep post across the middle, and then a short route on the inside slot. That time, Drummond had Hoff wide open. He actually underthrew the football by just a tad. That was in danger of getting intercepted. If he puts that up in the air on the line and drops it in, that's a touchdown. But still able to get it to Hoff, who has been fantastic this year, and especially so far tonight. Another big-time play. Appo rolling back in the red zone.
And his counterpart defensively, number 17, Bessik's the one that tripped him up from getting into the end zone. But Appo in business real quick. It's taken him 1 minute to get down inside the Smyrna 15. Brown up the middle, crashes inside the 10, down close to the 6.
He is gashing them there in this run game. The offensive line is doing a phenomenal job getting an initial push up front. All he needs is a small hole, and they are opening up exactly where he wants to run through, and he's getting past that second level. Of course, Smyrna probably been working all week in coverage and trying to defend this pass game for Appoquinimink, but it's been the run game that's been so big so far tonight.
Let's give Marinucci and Servia a lot of credit on that right side. Marinucci, I know that name. His sister played softball for the Jags.
There you go.
They feed Brown again. Oh, got a stick that time. Number 33 coming up, making the stop for Smyrna. And that's Jacob Blaine, a sophomore.
Nice job filling the hole. That time you want to fill where the guard was coming around and pulling. I believe it was Malone they brought pulling around from right to left, trying to get the back in behind him. But that time Smyrna was ready for the run game. They had enough of getting gashed up the middle, able to make a big play there. And now I believe, what, third down, Glenn?
Yes, yeah. Third down. Looks like about 3rd and 3. A long 3. They're on the 8.
Now they are capable of field goal, but 2-down territory as well here if fouls on the sidelines for Appo.
Exactly. And now we've got a timeout called by head coach Brian Timpson. So stoppage with 4:05 to go here in this first half. Appo on the move, trying to at least get a field goal here and cut it to 2 points or get that touchdown and take the lead.
And we saw a Smyrna on that last drive. They was them that had the penalty that stalled that drive. They back them up, unable to pick up that first down and forcing the punt. And then you mentioned it, a minute going from this side of the field to that side of the field. A big run from Brown and then a big pass to Noah Hoff. And here they are within striking distance again. So it's been the run game, as we mentioned already a few times here today. But now inside the 10-yard line, third down and about 5. A couple different things you could do here. And let's see what Coach Timpson draws up. Again, 1-for-1 on play action with a touchdown. But coming out of a timeout, and we'll see what they decide to do here.
Nick, coming into this game, we figured neither team, they didn't have their feature running backs. We already talked about that. So we figured it was going to be predominantly a passing game for both offenses. Yeah. No, the difference in this game tonight has been the ability of Appo to run the football with Brown and Clements.
And then Smyrna has been the big plays. You have the big screen of Hernandez that goes 60 yards, and then you have a very nice opening first drive. So just trying to limit the big plays are both teams here in the first half.
Okay, timeout is over. From the Eagle 8, third down and 3 for the Jags. Brown is the feature running back in right now to the left of Desai Drummond. Takes the snap. Takes it himself. He fakes it, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown, and Appo takes the lead.
Great play call, and once again, Drummond is 2 for 2 on these quarterback pulls. The first one was on 4th down. He's able to pick up a first down, and then this one on 3rd down goes for a score. So Drummond really starting to feel it here in the second quarter for the Jaguars, both through the air and on the ground. But setting that up, Glenn, was that run the whole way down. If you don't have Brown making those plays in the run game, that pull will not work down at the goal line. It certainly did there, and then easy pickings for Drummond as he walks it in for 6.
On the extra point, the holder is Noah Hoff. The long snapper is Hank Mowdy, and Jack Talley is the kicker.
Hoff out there doing it all.
Yeah. Kick is up, has the distance. He splits the uprights, and it's now a 2-point lead for the Jags at 14-12. Keeping it right here, Nick, with 4:01 to go in the half. What does Smyrna need to do to right the ship?
Well, right now they just got to find a rhythm back on offense. You saw there early on the run game with Kearney, who we talked about coming in, got going, but it was the RPO with Marks there that really got the offense soaring. Marks to Hernandez. So for me, if I'm here for Smyrna, I'm getting the ball in the hands of Hernandez, whether that be on a screen down the field. I'm sure Coach Marks and company going to scheme something up there offensively, but it starts with the return. You don't want any negative play here. You want to get relatively good field position, and then we'll see what they come out and do. You mentioned it, 4 minutes now, trailing by 2. The last drive, they had the penalties, so you got to play clean, you got to play disciplined, and get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
Tally to kick it off. Usually back deep for the Eagles is Enriquez and Kearney. Dorsey has also returned some kickoffs. Tally's ready to go, though.
And if you're Smyrna, Glenn, just got to relax, right? You're up 12-0. You lost all that momentum that you talked about early in the game. Just got to settle down. You talked about the youth at the top of the broadcasting, Coach Judy referencing that to you. Well, this is where that comes into play. Going up 12-0 and then having a comeback, you got to be able to right the ship.
Enriquez takes the kickoff, tries to bounce it to the sideline, keeps his balance, and then goes out near the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. That's where Smyrna will have the ball. Plenty of time to go. 3:53 in this first half.
You mentioned it. Time not a factor here. If you're the Smyrna offense, you just want to get into a rhythm. What worked for you back on that long opening drive? You had a couple big run plays there from Kearney, and then the play action screen to Hernandez. You're able to hit him in that RPO game. So come out, see if they can run the football, and then run that RPO based off of the success you have on the ground. So let's see what they decide to do now. 3:53. How do they start this drive, whether that be on the ground, through the air? Because as you mentioned, Glenn, time not a factor here.
No. Trips to the bottom of your screen, lone receiver to the top. I believe Crenshaw stays in. He does. Rolling top of your screen. Mark's trying to find somebody open. Now he steps back, throws it downfield. Catch is made, but I think out of bounds. Nice job by the receiver out there, but I don't think he got a foot down.
So that was Henriquez there that was able to make the play, as Glenn alluded to there, on the far side of the field. So they're trying to get the playmaker the ball. Again, play action. They roll Marks out of the pocket, and then that became backyard football. It was an out to the sideline for Hernandez. It was covered, so what does he do? Any good receiver, you turn that upfield, try to create some space down the field, and Marks tried to get it there, but a great defensive play and unable to haul it in.
Tough throw, too, as
Absolutely.
he was off balance trying to get back on that back foot.
Very tough throw.
Second down and 10. Two receivers, top and bottom of your screen. They fake the handoff. Drew Marks takes it, throws into the far flat, completes the pass, trying to make a play. Up out close to the 35-yard line, and on the reception was Caserta.
So there's that RPO screen to the top of the field that we've seen a few times out of this Smyrna offense here tonight. Again, it's tough on first down when you're trying to drive here. The first half is winding down and not pick up a good enough yardage there on first down, but they do it here on second, set themselves up for third and manageable.
Hurry up offense for the Eagles. Hard count, trying to draw the defense off. That didn't work, so now audible from the sideline.
Slots open here on the near side.
It certainly is. Puts it in the belly, takes it out, just flips it out into the flat, and that's going to lose yardage to Caserta.
So even from the snap, both guys here that we were referencing to the bottom of the screen, the slot and the receiver up on the line of scrimmage, they just blocked initially. So everything, it seems, play calling wise, is going from right to left for the Smyrna offense. They're having Marks go to his left almost entirely schematically. So that's what they're drawing up. Just haven't been too great. Usually with a right-handed quarterback, you want to get him going left to right.
Right. Trips to the bottom of your screen, a lone receiver to the top, and now we've got a stoppage.
So timeout number 2 for Appoquinimink.
Okay. They didn't like the alignment they saw out there. I want to remind everybody this is the First State Orthopedics game of the week. First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician assistants at 16 locations, providing surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions. They're also trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. They serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, many local rec and competitive leagues as well. Their doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid, and urgent care centers for consult and treatment. You can call them at 302-731-2888 or visit firststateortho.com. If you do, please mention you saw and heard this ad on Delaware Live Sports. And our premier physical therapy player of the week, Reagan Italian, a volleyball player from Conrad. Volleyball is dominating this player of the week.
A lot of fans showing their support.
All right, the timeout is over. Fourth down for the Eagles. They go into punt formation. So Kearney back there. It's always good to have somebody that can run like lightning to be your punter, just in case you want to fake it. Kearney does not. Hits the punt. Coverage is down there, and it will go laterally out of bounds just inside the 40 of the Jags. And look, they scored that last drive in just a couple of minutes. They've got plenty of time. 2:24.
We talked about time not being a factor for Smyrna. That's still the case here for Appoquinimink, especially as efficient this offense is. Brown's been picking up huge chunks on the ground. Drummond's finally getting into a rhythm here late in the first half, throwing the football. And we talked about the offensive line. They did a great job, at least especially in the run game so far here in the first half. Smyrna's done a good job at that pressure for the most part here so far in this one. But Appo really starting to click here in the second quarter after that first quarter belonged solely to Smyrna.
Yeah. Coming up at the halftime, Nick and I will be back about midway through the halftime segment, and we'll have the unofficial stats for you. See if we can get some scores from around the state. 9 games, 8 other games other than this one being played tonight.
Wow.
And we'll have the scoring plays for you. We'll do all that, like I said, about midway through the halftime segment.
So now let's see how Appo decides to open things up. They got one timeout to work with. The run game's been good, especially on first down. And it looks like Brown back in the backfield.
Yeah, Brown's back there. Now they'll reset Rogers in the slot to the bottom of your screen. Drummond, 2-step drop, steps up in the pocket like he's going to run with it, and he is. He runs into about 4 or 5 white jerseys, but still managed to get about 4 yards.
Now, I don't think that was a designed quarterback draw, although it felt that way. I think he abandoned the pocket rather quickly, so it wouldn't shock me if that's what Coach Timpson drew up there. But kind of an awkward play there on first down for Appoquinimink to start this drive.
Yeah. Under 2 minutes and counting to go in the half. Maybe Appo kind of content to let that clock run and go into the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, that'd be surprising, but yeah, it seems like, taking their time here.
Yeah, there's a handoff to Brown, hitting the backfield, spun around. He got away from that guy, but it slowed him up enough that the defensive help came in, and there was no gain on the play.
So I believe Smyrna does have one timeout
left. They have one left. It's showing 2 on the board, I think, but that can't be right.
But I think you're right, Glenn. I think they are content with where they are. At least that's what the play calls, say to me here. And now you're in a 3rd and long with Smyrna with a timeout. Yeah. They're just going to let the clock run, and Smyrna not really wanting to stop the clock either.
No. Well, we got a tight one here, that's for sure. Yeah. Smyrna raced out to the 12-0 lead, and then Appo came back. Extra points have been the difference.
Now a big play here.
Yep, 3rd down and 7, and they let the clock run down as long as they can. It's down to a minute. Drummond looks to the sideline, now takes a snap, steps back, surveys the field, and we've got a whistle before that play develops.
And it's been a while before we had a flag on Appo, so they had a couple critical ones in that first quarter we talked about. They've been disciplined for the most part of this second quarter, and then that one's going to catch them in a tough spot, and now you kind of have to weigh your options, right? You're looking at 55 seconds. You're behind the initial line of scrimmage, 3rd and long. For this offense, when you got a guy like Drummond and weapons like Rogers and Hoffer, maybe you can get yourself out of this here as we wind down time in the first half. But you want to be very careful, not turn the ball over.
Oh, yeah. Delay a game penalty.
And that'll hurt you, too.
So, as you mentioned, they're behind the chains now. 3rd down and 12.
Same formation.
Yep, Drummond straight back, looks, throws way downfield, and just a little over the head of his intended receiver. That was Dom Montabell. Incomplete, stops the clock, and now Smyrna has 50 seconds after this punt.
And Smyrna can be dangerous. They are capable of that big explosive play, as we saw with Enriquez earlier in the ballgame. He took that screen to the top for 60 yards and a score. But, again, just a weird drive out of Appoquinimink here after forcing the stop and then getting the ball back with over 2 minutes and 30 seconds to work with. A chance after scoring on your last 2 drives. It just kind of looked like they just decided to put foot on the brake there a little bit. And now we'll see if Smyrna can make them pay for it. Again, not a lot of time for an offense that has struggled here in the second quarter.
Yeah, you said they found the rhythm there in the second quarter, scored a couple of touchdowns, and then just decided, well, we don't want to make a mistake here, I guess. There's the punt. Not too deep off the side of the foot. And takes a big Smyrna bounce. Is down, I think, close to midfield.
And now if you're Smyrna in that offense, you've got 38 seconds and a timeout to work with. This is in play. Marks has an arm. They've kept a lot of it to the short passing game so far today with those quick RPO reads. But Now let's see if they open this offense up a little bit. Maybe a double move to Henriquez here on one of the far or the nearer far sideline. But you got 38 seconds and a quarterback that's capable of putting the ball in the air.
And Nick, on the scoreboard, they're still showing Smyrna with 2 timeouts. And I don't think that's right. I think they have 1.
Yeah, and we get our confirmation from Jason. 1 for sure.
All right, here we go. From their own 49-yard line, trips to the bottom of your screen. Marks in the gun, Kearney alongside him. Fake it to Kearney. He steps up in the pocket. He's just going to run with it and then just fall down. He'll gain about 3.
And I believe that was a pass. I think there were guys running routes down the field, but just another, I don't want to say awkward quarterback run, but it looked like he wanted to go somewhere else with the football and ended up tucking up and running forward. It looks like, I think we have a timeout down on the field with 28.7 seconds. It's been an interesting 2.5 final minutes here, Glenn, at this here as we inch towards the half.
Yeah, I think Smyrna has used their final timeout. They haven't changed timeouts on the scoreboard yet, but that would be their final timeout. As we're just about to send things back to Jason here so he can pay some bills.
And if you are Smyrna, and they did use that timeout there, so obviously they're looking to put some points on the board, and that's what you call there on first down. And maybe it was a broken play. Maybe it was supposed to be an inside handoff or some type of pass to the screen. But they did use their timeout, so they are trying to put points on the board there after that initial run by Marks.
Well, I'll tell you, since the first quarter ended, it's been all Appo, really.
It has, no doubt.
Both sides of the ball.
Ever since the Henriquez touchdown.
Yeah. Trips to the bottom, a lone receiver to the top of your screen. Once again, Kearney behind quarterback. Marks throws it in the far flat, completes the pass, and then getting out of bounds is Enriquez. And that was successful for them early in the game.
And that time you see, Elite Carter playing 10 to 12 yards deep in coverage. He dropped back initially, and that was an easy play for Marks off the RPO. Faked the handoff. A beautiful route by Henriquez to get right to the sticks, and he was wide open, able to haul it in and pick up a first down. Big play there. Now Smyrna driving.
And you get close enough now that you can just Hail Mary one into the end zone.
They got guys that can catch it.
Low snap. Again, far flat. Completes the pass. It's Enriquez again, and he has the first down.
Same exact play call to the same exact side of the field. It's the same play action underneath, and they go right to Henriquez at the sticks. It's been back-to-back plays. You send him 10 to 12 yards, and he knows exactly where to get to. It's a beautiful route there on the top of your screen, and he's making it look easy for those 2 quick first downs. Just getting what they want here.
Well, just moving it right down the field. 18 seconds to go. Marks gives some instructions to Crenshaw, who's the running back. Now he rolls to the near side. Pressure is coming, and he is sacked. Coming through there, number 31. Let's see, that's Omari Cofield. Oh, there he is. And he had 4 sacks coming into the night.
And now a stoppage. I think they tried to clock the football, but that's a drive killer there. Smyrna was rolling back-to-back 10-plus yard completion, setting them up close outside the red zone, and then Appo getting that pressure. This time they try to get Marks out of the pocket. That was their first play, I believe, out of the pistol tonight, and then they send him out of the pocket on the move, and Appo was ready for that defensive line, just really able to get those hats to the football.
Boy, Cofield has great speed for a defensive end. Marks had no time to try to elude him. Big loss. Clock inside of a second to go, so time for one play.
Chuck it up.
That's what's going to happen if he has time to do that. Let's see about the rush. And right here comes the rush. No time. And he is sacked again. Cofield was there, and so was Micah Jones, and that's how the half will come to an end. All Appo in the second quarter.
Yeah, and even to that play right there, they're going to take that momentum in the locker room. How about 2 sacks on the final 2 plays of this drive to end the first half after 2 big completions for that Smyrna offense? Appo deciding to bring the pressure on. They said, you want to throw a Hail Mary? Well, we're not going to let you. We'll have 3 or 4 guys in coverage. We're going to bring everybody else. They're able to bring him down. And Appo, you mentioned it, stealing that momentum in the second quarter. Smyrna off to a 12-0 lead in this football game. Some big plays to Henriquez, who also had some big plays towards the end of the half. So we're going to be in for a fun second half. I'm really excited to see what these 2 teams decide to do.
Halftime score is Appo 14, Smyrna 12, and your halftime score is presented to you by Dover Federal Credit Union, voted an 8-time first state favorite credit union. You can bank with a winner when you choose Dover Federal Credit Union, and That will bring us to halftime. We'll be back, like I said, in about 7 or 8 minutes. Unofficial stats, scoring plays, and scores from around the state. You're listening and watching Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodal Concepts. Today we're at Fish On in the Villages of 5 Points. Come check us out. Fish On is committed to serving beautiful, simple coastal cuisine in a cool atmosphere with a happening bar, spacious dining room, and outside patio. Popular dishes include the seafood stew and fresh oysters from the raw bar. Fish On's recently renovated event room and is the perfect spot for your next event. Fish On in Lewis in the Villages of 5 Points, open 7 days a week, best happy hour around. See you. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodal Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodal Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Sodal Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Sodal Concepts. Today we're at Lupo Italian Kitchen in downtown Rehoboth Beach. Come check us out. Located inside the Hotel Rehoboth, Lupo serves coastal Italian cuisine with fresh pasta made in-house daily. Lupo features plenty of unique craft cocktails and an extensive award-winning all-Italian wine list. Popular dishes include lobster bucatini, veal meatballs, grilled swordfish, and eggplant parmesan. Lupo Italian Kitchen on Rehoboth Avenue, serving happy hour daily and dinner 7 days a week. See you soon.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
How you doing? My name's Mike Cassidy. I'm the founder and president of Cassidy Painting. I started back in 1984, incorporated in 1986. I never had the word no in my vocabulary. When someone called me to do a job, I always said yes, whether it was a struggle, whether it was 7 days a week, sun up to sundown, it didn't matter. And with that philosophy, we were able to grow to the size we are. We employ close to 80 individuals.
We really enjoy being in the family business. I look forward to coming to work every day, and it's so nice to work with the people that we work with in the office. We've really become a family with them. We really create a family experience around here.
And Cassidy Painting is a very diversified company. We don't say no to anything. We deal with everything from epoxy floors to painting buildings to spray foam insulation, spray fireproofing. If it deals with a coating, we can handle it. So when our customers call and they're under the gun and they know the need to get a job done, they know who to call because we perform. We've always been performed. We've never been replaced out of 37 years of business. For any of your painting needs, we can handle it.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway next to Blue Coast Rehoboth, Thompson Island will follow the Soto tradition of serving beautiful, simple food that will pair perfectly with our fresh homemade beer. Thompson Island is a perfect place to have dinner with your family, enjoy happy hour with friends at the bar, or spend a day in the beer garden playing bocce ball and ping pong. Thompson Island Brewing Company in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week. See you soon.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts.
All right, we're back here, halftime festivities at Appoquinimink High School. Out on the football field, the Appoquinimink Jaguar Marching Band providing entertainment for the crowd here tonight as the rain's holding off so far, and we hope it does for the rest of this contest. 14-12 is your halftime score in favor of Appoquinimink, and it's brought to you by Dover Federal Credit Union, voted an 8-time First State Favorite Credit Union. You can bank with a winner when you choose Dover Federal Credit Union. Here's some other scores around the state at the half. In 1A, Polytech leads First State Military 20-12. Seaford at the half leads Early College High School 51-0. Woodbridge trails Sussex Central 17-7 at the half. Salesianum 29-0 over Dover at the half. In the third quarter, Wilmington Friends 33, Brandywine 0. Sussex Tech at the half leading Odessa 18-7. And St. Mark's has a touchdown lead at Caesar Rodney at the half, 21-14. Those are the other scores that we have. Let's take a look at our unofficial stats for the first half. And first, the team stats. The Smyrna Eagles, they rushed 9 times for 41 yards. But Drew Marks was 10 out of 12 for 144 and 2 touchdowns. Now, he got half of that on that screen pass score for 77 yards.
Yeah. It was honestly a tale of 2 quarters when you look at it down like that, Glenn. And Smyrna, you mentioned it, got out to that first quarter. Marks looked good. And it was that opening drive. You mentioned the 9 carries for 41 yards. A lot of that had to be with Kearney and company on that opening drive that went for a touchdown. But since that point in the first quarter, things have been tough in the ground game for Smyrna.
6 of the 10 pass completions have gone to Phoenix Enriquez. No surprise there. Let's take a look at Appo, and they are evenly split. 15 rushing attempts for 87 yards, 6 for 10 passing for Drummond for 84, and most of that all in the second quarter when they got the 2 drives for scores.
Yep, Jasir Rogers out of the backfield for a touchdown here in front of us to our left, and then a few big-time plays to Noah Hoff down the middle of the field where he was able to use his legs and get some yards after the catch. It was all Appo in that second quarter. It started with the ground game. Brown has been kind of a big-time player for them here in that first half. As you mentioned, look down 8 carries for 50 yards that you mentioned, and he looks really good. So that, to me, is going to be the story here in the second half for Appoquinimink. Can they continue to pound the football with Brown and some of those other backs and then work off the play action? Because when they did that there in the second quarter, it worked out very nicely. Smyrna going to have to stay tight and tough defensively, and then they got to go back to that ground game a little bit that got them going there on that opening drive.
Yeah, Kearney leads them on the ground, 5 attempts for 24 yards. For the Smyrna Eagles. Marks has carried twice for 15, and that does not allow for the sack yardage that he lost as well. So the stats totally, 171 offensive yards for the Jags, 185 for Smyrna, almost dead even. And we're almost dead even on the scoreboard.
That's right. Like we said, I mean, first quarter went to Smyrna, second quarter went to Appoquinimink. Like if you watch a UFC, you're going through a 3-round fight. Well, the rounds are split. We're heading to the third. But one half of play here to determine who's going to get a big victory tonight. Will Appo get that much treasured first victory over Smyrna, or is Smyrna going to continue to be the big brother in Appoquinimink here with another victory? It's going to be a fun second half.
Nick, we'll find out in about 4 minutes. We'll be back for the second half kickoff on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools.
First State Orthopedics has 46 physicians and 22 physician's assistants at 16 locations across the state of Delaware. We provide both surgical and non-surgical treatment for a variety of orthopedic conditions, are specially trained in current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physicians for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to all local emergency departments, medical aid units, and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Give us a call today at 302-731-2888 or visit us online at firststateortho.com.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, We understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution. We are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community.
All right, we're back here. Both teams have returned to the field, and momentarily we'll have the kickoff to start the second half. It's always interesting to see how both teams come out of the locker room, what adjustments are being made. And you talked about it. Smyrna has got to go back to what worked for them in the first quarter. But it's like everything went to that one side of the field. They didn't even look the other direction.
Yeah, again, and even going back to that last drive there in the first half, kind of a weird drive there. As you thought maybe trying to go for some points, but both teams kind of stalling out and just kind of wanted to get to the locker room to kind of reset and get back out here for the second half. But we talked about that run game was potent there on the first drive for Smyrna. They took it 70 yards on the opening drive for a touchdown, took a nice chunk, 5 minutes or so off the clock in doing so. And then Henriquez with a big play on the second drive. They took a 12-0 lead before we even blinked. Right. And then just like that, Appo with some penalties, undisciplined plays there in the first half. That all kind of got corrected in that second quarter. The offense found a rhythm. The defense made some big plays with Von Brandt there on the outside and a few other guys with some big ones as well. And then Drummond able to lead them down the field for a few scores. But what stood out to me has been the run game for Appoquinimink there in that second quarter. Talk about obviously without their lead back. And then Brown with a heck of a job. We talked about the 8 carries for 50 yards. Once they got the ground game going, the play action and the passing kind of came with it, and it kind of set them up for success. So we'll see if both teams can go back to the run here in the second half. We know Smyrna's going to work that RPO off of it. Let's see how Appo starts off here on offense. A chance to ride that momentum and score for the third straight time here.
Reed Schultz kicking off. That name sound familiar? How about athletic director Bill Schultz? Schultzy we call him. Kickoff went off of Cofield and then out of bounds, so that is where Appoquinimink will operate. Looks like about the 32-yard line. A couple of things to keep in mind here for the second half, because Smyrna does not have anyone that will kick extra points or to attempt a field goal. As a matter of fact, the last time Smyrna kicked a field goal was Andrew Gilbert in 2012, and the last time an extra point was kicked was against Polytech in 2018. But maybe a difference in this game because Appo has a great kicker in Tally.
And great might even be an understatement. He might be the best kicker in the state. Talking to John Busby, of course, here up in the booth. He can make him from 50, so that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. 2012, Glenn, I played in 2012.
There you go. All right, handoff. Brown right up the middle. Hesitated just a little bit, letting the blocking develop, and he got easily 5 yards on first down.
There we go. That's what we talked about. Are they going to come out and try to establish the run early? That's what got that rhythm going in the second quarter. Brown was fantastic, averaging up over 5 to over 6 yards a carry, and they're going to go right back to him. Smart move there. They pick up 4 or 5 on first down. That's what you want, and now second and manageable.
Yeah. All right. Personnel is in for this play. Desai Drummond checks the sideline.
And again, one thing though about Appo here in the second half is if I'm the Jaguars, you got to get the ball to Jasir Rogers. He has one touch, and it went for a touchdown.
Exactly. I mean, he's the leading receiver on the team as far as yardage goes and touchdowns. All right, trips to the top. Drummond feeds it to Brown again, right off the left side, churning those legs, and he's about a yard shy maybe of the first.
Sticking with the run again, 2 carries to start this drive and close to a new set of downs. Here we go, 3rd and 1, and now this is the big play. So you come out, you run it twice. What do you do here? Do you run it, try to get the first down, or do you try to throw? You got to get it somehow here. They're looking at about 2 yards, so a big play call. Do they stick with the run or maybe put it in the air here?
Well, they've done a good job with Drummond, like putting that ball right into the belly of the running back and then pulling it back, taking it himself. Clements is in now as the feature back. Brown comes off.
A lot of room towards the sticks there at the top of the screen, playing off coverage.
At least 10 yards. 3rd down play, 3rd and short. It's a fake, play action, pass downfield, looking for your man, Rogers.
Oh,
that was an acrobatic interception. I don't know, was he out of bounds? That's Bessick.
I think he caught that. I think he caught that. That was an unbelievable play. The safety in cover 2. Everybody likes to talk. They don't like 2 high safeties now in the NFL. Well, you got the safety here on the top of Rogers, and again, Drummond, I think, saw one-on-one coverage to the bottom. That wasn't the case. He had the screen wide open at the top that would have got him the first down. Instead, he tries to give Jasir Rogers a chance, as would any quarterback, but he didn't see Kamari Bessick hanging out at safety over the top. He read Drummond's eyes, came over, made a phenomenal play on the ball, and snags that with one hand on his way out of bounds, got at least 1 foot down. That's a clean interception, at least from what I saw. That was a heck of a play out of the safety over the top.
That's got to be a top play nominee for us. The one thing is, and even we have our monitor up here, but even if you're looking right down on the field, the players on the bench for Appo kind of hide the sideline. So it's hard to see whether that foot got in or not. But the officials are calling it an interception.
Yeah, I think it was clean. I had a better view than you because I'm 4 to the right, so I had to see through the window. But it looked like a clean play, and a heck of a play it was. Just the wrong read for Drummond that time.
It's a running play. That's Crenshaw, and he gets tripped up. He might have gained a yard at best. But we have a flag in the Smyrna backfield.
So you get the big play on defense as you come over and get the interception. Then before you can get your first snap off for positive yardage, you get a penalty.
Yeah, it's a motion penalty on Smyrna.
So that'll back them up to start the drive. Not what you want. But again, after that interception, a lot of momentum now that way.
Yep, 5-yard penalty. So back inside the Eagle 20-yard line. Just underway here in the second half.
Yeah, but not the way you wanted to start that drive after that big play by the Eagles. That was another thing we talked about. Will they go back to the run game? We'll find out.
Now here we go again with loading everybody up in the backfield and then quickly separating as to try to deceive the defense. Empty set, throwing the far flat, trying to set up a screen. That's Enriquez, makes the catch, flag flies as he got maybe 3 or 4 yards out of that. And this is probably going to come back again.
And the area looks like a hold from here. So that's back-to-back penalties. And we talked about how that hurt the Jaguars in the first quarter, allowed Smyrna to get out to a 12-0 lead. Well, since that second quarter, it's been Appo's kind of cleaned up things and been the more disciplined team, and now the penalties stacking up for the Eagles.
Exactly. And that's the offensive coordinator we see across the field that's motioning the play in. Kearney standing right next to the official.
Yeah, been having a conversation there for a minute or two.
I guess maybe the call was on him, possibly, and he just wanted an explanation as to what he did. The official's probably going to say, you held him.
He said 13 on Smyrna. Is that rather a 13?
Oh, yeah, that's Montebello. Oh, no, that's Appo's 13. Smyrna does not have. Yeah, they do. Christian Beverly.
So I think that's what I got the call. I'm not sure if that was him or not, but I think that's what the official said. It was a teen number. I believe he said 13.
All right. Well, they have been, since they're not going with a feature running back per se, they have been shuffling in some extra wideouts. Right now at the bottom of your screen is Caserta and Enriquez. Kearney to the top. Looked right, comes back left, sets up screen to Kearney, weaves his way up the sideline, got across the 20 and maybe close to the 25, and there's another flag after the play.
That one was tossed high in the air, so that was something blatant there on the far sideline. Maybe a late hit in front of that Smyrna bench, or maybe looking at a 15-yarder But we'll have to wait and see. But that official threw the flag in the air.
All right, now we got to have a little talk with the officials up here because we've got, I think, a big rain system headed our way.
Oh, no,
and we
Glenn,
don't want
say
that hitting right at the end of the fourth quarter.
In
Here's
a
the call.
game.
Yeah. Personal foul against Appoquinimink after the play.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
So the catch made by Kearney on the screen.
So 2 penalties to start the drive for Smyrna. They get off 1 play. It goes for positive yards, and then they get a penalty against Appoquinimink. 15 yards, a personal foul, and now a new set of downs for them. So interesting start here to our second half, especially for the Smyrna offense. But I guess now we just got to say first down and 10 for Smyrna here.
Yeah, there you go. Trips to the bottom, a lone receiver to the top. Kearney in the backfield. He gets the ball. He's trying to find some room. Now he bounces it out to the edge and will get out of bounds near the 45. He's going to pick up almost 7.
Smyrna kind of looking for another late hit here towards the far sideline. But once again, that was what we saw out of Kearney on that opening drive. This time, it's not like Appo didn't play the run well. That was just a nice run by Kearney, able to make a few guys miss and then break a tackle at that next level and pick up about 8 yards. So a nice run by Kearney. Let's see if they go back to him. Again, he was a reason for a lot of that success on that opening drive that went 70 yards for a touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, he leads the team with 31 yards on 6 carries. Puts it in the belly, takes it out. Marks will take it himself. Good job of weaving his way through all the traffic. Gets a first down into Appo territory at the 45.
Again, putting the ball in the hands of Marks, the quarterback, and making him make the right call. He held that ball in there for a while. Started to get a little dangerous there towards the tail end, but he made the right call, able to pull it back and find an opening.
Well, now Appo's gone with a base 3-down lineman. This time, he tripped. Crenshaw trying to make a cut, and he tripped. No gain on the play.
And he knew it immediately.
Yeah.
You see him smack the ground, upset about that. Had some running room in front of him. Just maybe had to make one guy miss with a blocker in front of him. But unable to, as you mentioned, tripped up by the turf monster here at Appoquinimink, and now minimal gain on first down.
That's only his second carry of the game. Second down, and still about 10 and a half yards to go. A little tighter formation. Lone receiver on the hash mark, near side. Enriquez in motion. Now they bring it back the other side of the field. Marks has all day, surveys the field, now steps up and just runs out of bounds right at the 45, so no gain.
Second play out of the pistol. We saw one near the end of the first half that didn't go for positive yardage. They go back in the pistol here, and I'm telling you, it looks like Smyrna's got that Andy Reid playbook there for the Kansas City Chiefs. Once again, they have the halo motion inside, and then Marks does the Patrick Mahomes pirouette, comes back here to the near sideline. It's right out of the Chiefs playbook, able to pick up nothing, though, for Marks. Appo with great containment there on the outside.
So a stalemate these last few plays. Now Smyrna has 3rd and 10. They're in Appo territory at the 45. 2 receivers top and bottom of your screen. Mark steps back. Puts it in the belly. That's a good running play. And this time it's Dorsey on the carry. Pretty good yardage for him down inside the Appo 40 and out at the 36.
And that's what the RPO can do, right? It's giving you the chance to run, pass, or take it yourself. And Marks with the correct read there. Wide open there on the inside handoff. He makes the right decision, and it picks up positive yardage, and that's what they needed there on 3rd down. Now you're looking at 4th and 2, a big 4th down coming up here in Appo territory. Big play.
Think they'll go with their earthquake formation here? Let's see.
I think it worked last time on 4th down.
You're looking at the chain gang over there. It looks more like 4th and 1, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think they did change it up. All right, let's see what happens. Kearney takes the low snap, goes straight ahead and pushes the pile and has the first down before he's shoved back. He got about 3 yards there.
So just straight quarterback power out of the earthquake there for Kearney, who's been running kind of that Wildcat Tim Tebow offense there in that side on 4th and short. Quarterback power has 2 blockers in front of him and able to get enough for the first down. Smyrna keeping this drive going. They've got are thinking about regaining that lead here.
Yeah, they're trying to take advantage of a turnover, something that Appo couldn't do. They couldn't capitalize on that turnover, on that fumble in the first half. Now they're going to stay with the earthquake formation. Kearney back there with Dorsey. Fakes the handoff to Dorsey, takes it himself down to the 30, just runs people over down close to the 26-yard line.
Back-to-back positive plays with the Earthquake. Not only do they get the first down on fourth down, but as you mentioned, sticking with it and picking up about 8 there on first down. And why not go right back to it? Maybe if you're Coach Judy, it's working for you here on this drive. Player down for the Jaguars, going to have a pause in the action.
And they help him up off the turf.
And there you go. You know, that's the toughness. You love to see that if I can get a number on
That's
there.
Cofield, I think.
So there's Cofield. How about that? Trying to stop. Looks like a cramp. Like he's trying to stomp out the cramp. We talked about the humidity up in the high 80% here tonight and tomorrow. So cramping, if you haven't been hydrating all day, have some pretzels, drink some water, because that's going to be an issue tonight coming in for sure. And I like how he's able to stand up on his feet and get off to the field under his own power. You got to love that toughness and dedication.
That's not Cofield. It's number 34 that came off. Cofield was out there. He's still out there. I don't see a 34 on the roster.
Well, whoever does, heck of a job, right? Let me get to the sideline and have you stretch me out rather than going down on the field. A heck of a job. You got to love that toughness.
Checking in defensively was Gavin Johns. As Smyrna stays with the Earthquake formation.
Yeah, like we said, why not?
And that keeps the clock running. Now Enriquez turns, checks the sideline to see if they're going to change the play up.
And they've thrown one time out of this today, and it was intercepted.
Yes. Straight ahead. Enriquez, caught from behind and pulled back. That's a heady play by number 14, Connor Morton.
Him and Dylan Griffith are ready for that. And if you know the Earthquake, it kind of gets jumbled up in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, just take the around route. Just come around and get him from behind, pull him back. A nice job there. Not always going to work, but when it gets that congested there in the interior, you can get away with that. And it worked out nicely there. And now 3rd and short. Let's see if the Appo defense can stand big here with these final two downs. But back to the Earthquake go the Eagles.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the edge again and see if Morton or somebody else tries to sneak around that backfield. It's been Kearney the last 2 carries. This time he takes it himself again. He has the first down yardage inside the 20 to the 18.
4 straight Earthquake plays, but 4 straight keeps for Kearney. Another big one there. And even if you watch that handoff, as you mentioned, I think you said Dorsey in the backfield with him.
Yeah.
That Dorsey handoff is starting to look good. It almost had it there. If he's able to bounce that outside, could have been for 6. Look for Kearney to now give the ball and fake taking it himself. That's going to be open here.
Yeah, Dorsey just limped off the field, so it looks like
that back.
Yeah, Crenshaw just came in for him. And that might be cramping too. We saw that all last night.
Yeah, and that's going to be the case throughout the weekend. A very high humidity weekend here.
Smyrna at the 18-yard line of the Jags. 5:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Time-consuming drive. Kearney fakes it to Crenshaw, takes it himself. Got maybe a yard or 2 before he is shoved to the ground.
So that's the first time the Appo defense able to stand tall against this Earthquake and keep it to minimal yardage. So now does Smyrna come out of it? They stuck with it for about 5 straight plays. They've had positive yardage each and every time, that time being the first where they were limited. Let's see if they stick with that Earthquake or now spread this offense back out and get back to that RPO game.
Yeah, no gain on that play. So it's been, I think, 6 consecutive carries out of the Earthquake for Kearney.
And all himself, he faked the handoff all 6 times.
For 25 yards. That has doubled his total for the night. Bad snap. He picked it up. But good double team tackle. And a little extracurricular going on here in the backfield, but no flag.
Keeping it clean down there.
Yep.
And that time you saw the edge, kind of what I saw, I think the Smyrna offensive play caller saw up here sitting above us in the press box. That edge was open, but the bobbled snap didn't allow Kearney to be able to get to that edge quick enough, as Appo kind of keeping that. They've been great on the edges tonight with Von Brandt and some of those guys of setting that edge, but that time after a few Earthquake plays, looked like it might have been open, but the drop snap made it hard for Smyrna to capitalize.
Yeah, that threw the timing off on that play. So now 3rd and 10 as this drive is starting to stall at the Appoquinimink 18-yard line. Crenshaw stays in the backfield with Kearney. Kearney takes it himself after the fake to Crenshaw, and no gain again. They stuff it again at the line.
Appo ready for it, back-to-back plays. You can only do it so many times before the defense starts to catch on, and it's been 6 or 7 straight fake handoffs out of this Earthquake for Kearney. He's running the same way each and every time, except for that given one sweep on the play before where he dropped the snap. So Appo tighten things up, bending, not breaking here deep in their own red zone. And now you put Smyrna in a tough spot here, 4th down.
They're going to bring in the traditional offense with Drew Marks, the quarterback, on the wideouts on 4th down and 10. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout taken by Appoquinimink. I guess with the change in personnel, they didn't have the defense out there they wanted.
Yeah, probably adapting to that earthquake that we saw in abundance there on that drive, but a timeout. Now I'm going to let Smyrna get to talk some things over as well here offensively. So as you said, I'm expecting to see that offense come back out, maybe 3 or 4 wide receivers with a back in the backfield with Marks here, and kind of when I imagine would be an RPO. So we'll see what happens. To me, I think you're going one spot here on 4th down, and that's number 7 in white. I don't care if it's a screen. The most effective play they've had today, Glenn, has been out of that RPO, and it's been just the straight 12-yard hitch to Henriquez at the top of the sideline there on the far side of the field. So, again, you're looking at about 10 yards. They got that 3 or 4 times at will with that play to end that first half a little while ago. Let's see if they go back to it. Henriquez, Appo's been playing very off of him in coverage, not trying to give up the big play. So let's see if they give up 10.
I think that's the key. Drew Marks has got to read the defense here and see where that cornerback or safety, whoever's covering him, is. If they're 10 yards off the sideline, you got to get it out there.
And he's made some great pre-snap reads and pre-snap calls so far in this game.
All right. Marks, Crenshaw stays in the game. Fakes it to him. They throw it. It's going to be a double pass, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Running up the far sideline with it, number 1, Dylan Griffith.
Great job by Griffith to stay home, right? Smyrna trying to draw up the trickery. They ran that play a few times today. I think me and you even had a good idea up here that was going to be a double pass once they got it to him, and Griffith had the same type of reaction. He stayed home. That's the key on some of these double plays or, trick plays. He stayed home there at his position and read the quarterback's eye, stepped in, made an easy interception, even able to pick up a few yards after. So if you would have got the stop, you would have been maybe 3 or 4 yards back in your own territory. So he picked up the extra 3. They'll take it.
So Smyrna couldn't capitalize on the interception, the athletic interception. They turn it over, and let's see what Appo does. They get the offense back out there.
Trips to the bottom. They've run a lot of inside zone out of it.
Clements is the feature running back. Look in the center of the field, completes the pass to Hoff. Going to be tackled close to the 30-yard line, so he'll pick up 8 yards.
Hoff trying to stay on his feet there, maybe just trying to go down, being held up, and I don't think that's a flag or an excessive hit. He just kept going there. So Noah Hoff, another big play. I love that play call on first down. They were hitting him with the run, and how about that? Throw the ball on first down, open it up, and they did so. A nice play call, and Drummond able to put it on the money to Hoff. I like them coming out throwing the ball here after running it earlier.
And plenty of time to pass that time, too. Smyrna not able to get any kind of pressure on Desai Drummond.
Yeah, I think they were ready for that run as well.
2nd down and 2. Clements stays in at running back. This time they feed it to Clements, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. He'll go down for maybe a gain of a half a yard, that at best.
So tough play there on 2nd down, hoping to pick up the first down, but you do get, positive yards, 1 or 2, which is fine in this scenario. Now 3rd and about 2 or 3. We'll see if we see Brown back out there. As you mentioned, it's been Clements here on this drive in the backfield for Drummond and company.
Exactly. Brown is back in the game. He's their power back. Caden Brown, the senior, unofficially 50 yards of rushing in the first half on 8 attempts, and 2 attempts here in the second half for 9 yards.
Only 3, or now there comes the defensive end who's sagging a little bit back here. Let's see, 3rd and 2. Running the game looks like it's open here up the middle.
Yeah. Now back to pass, throws in the far flat. Completes it to Hoff. Tripped up, is not going to get the first. Good defensive play. Was that, yeah, it was 14 again. That's at Timmons.
That was a nice play, right? Appo saying there on 3rd and short, we're going to go one-on-one. We think our guy can catch the ball and beat your guy and get that first down. And Noah Hoff, who most of the time can do that. But what a play by Timmons on the outside. One-on-one in open space against a guy that's very capable of breaking tackles.
Yeah.
A nice one-on-one tackle. That's hard to do in the open field. Phenomenal play in reaction time, reading that screen and coming up and making a play.
And here's a player that was not in the starting lineup originally, so he's getting some PT. And now into punt formation. The Jags, we're down to 70 seconds and counting to go in this 3rd quarter. There's been no scoring so far in the second half. Jags holding on to that 2-point lead. Great snap by the long snapper, Mowdy. Good punt, too. Goes straight up in the air and is touched And down by the long snapper, Mowdy, he got downfield. How about that?
Gotta love the hustle. Gotta love the hustle.
Downs the ball. Smyrna will have it near their own 35-yard line. Under a minute to go here in this third quarter.
So back and forth just in terms of the defense here in the third quarter. It was Smyrna in the first, Appo in the second, and then the defenses from both teams stepping up here in the third. But Smyrna offense right back out on the ball. They're going to go trips to the bottom here. 4 receivers to open things up right back in the pistol.
Marks takes a look at the line. One-step drop pressure coming off the edge from Vaughn. Oh, he got out of it. Comes near side. Pump fake. And he's going to run out of bounds just shy of the 45-yard line. Edge Von Brandt put the pressure on him in the backfield.
That was a nice play by Marks there to be able to get out of the rush. Maybe had a man downfield, but overall looked like decent coverage on the back end from Appoquinimink. He's able to pump fake. And you know what I really like is that unnecessary pump fake when you're 10 yards down the field. The defense still bites, Glenn. They still bite. I would do it all the way down the field. So that was a nice play by Marks there. Again.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, the pump fake, but wait a minute. You're at 17 yards across. No, 7 yards across the line of scrimmage. Handoff to Crenshaw. Oh, what a hit at the end of that run by Noah Hoff. But he got the first down. He paid for it.
Cofield and Hoff coming together to lay the boom there. And, yeah, how about that, getting right back up after the hit as well. It's been a fun game, too. Very competitive teams going back and forth. We've seen some nice hits, but also, not too much unsportsmanlike conduct and stuff like that. These guys, staying classy down there.
Exactly. And we've got a whistle. Stoppage with 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
I think a Jaguar down on the near sideline. We can't see him because he's right in front of his teammates there.
Right. I think he just popped up.
So number 32, I believe, heading in relief to pick up his spot there defensively.
That was Gavin Johns that popped up and came off the field.
So that's going to allow Cameron Cruz, the junior, to take
over
his spot. Yeah, you like that. I like alliteration.
Cameron Cruz.
Sounds like a big play waiting to happen.
It does. Or a rock band. Trips to the top of your screen. Lone receiver. Kearney to the bottom. It's a handoff. Crenshaw eluded the first defender, not the second. However, he's only going to gain about a yard. And jumping in there again is Zach Landry, making a lot of tackles.
Great containment there as we end the third quarter. You can tell Appo has been drilling that RPO at practice all week. There was somebody ready for the running back and somebody ready for the quarterback. Great preparation and a nice job to be set defensively by Appo. It's going to be a fun fourth quarter here, Glenn.
It was 14-12 at the half. We're through 3 quarters. It's still 14-12. 1 quarter left to play. Come back and join us for that right after this.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned.
Just about ready for the fourth quarter of action. I'm Glenn Frazier. He is Nick Alessandrini. And we were just talking during the break about how Appo and under Coach Brian Timpson has really gotten so much better and progressed over the last few years. Well, he was the passing game coordinator at Middletown High for a few years when he was an assistant over there. Pass into the far flat. Pass is complete, but only gaining maybe 4 yards.
So once again, though, Smyrna trying to get it to Enriquez, and that's what you got to do, right? You've been stagnant on offense since you scored twice in that first quarter. It's been 2 quarters of not being able to really move the football. The only difference is you haven't been able to get it, of course, to number 7. You got to get him the ball, just like Appo's got to get the ball in the hands of Rogers.
3rd down and 6. Enriquez is split to the top of your screen, trips to the bottom. And it looks like Kearney. Yeah, Kearney's in the backfield behind the quarterback. Marks fakes it to him. Throws far flat. Guess who? Number 7, Kearney.
And there
Pushed
it
out
is.
of bounds by Yalik Carter, just shy of the first.
That's been by far the most productive play today. That same exact play to the far sideline for Smyrna. It's the same RPO. They let Marks put it in the belly of Kearney if he wants to throw it, which those, again, corners are playing deep. Henriquez is getting to the sticks at 10 yards just way too easily. If you're this Appo defense, he's way too good to give him that kind of space.
All right, Smyrna's bringing in the short yardage offensive formation. It's the Earthquake. We're just underway in the fourth quarter. 4th down and about 1.5 yards.
Ooh, big play.
And Appo has defended this quite well the last 3 or 4 carries. Kearney takes a snap straight up the field. I think he got a positive surge and got the first down.
That was a nice push by that right side of the interior offensive line. Opened up exactly what they were looking for. I believe that might be a player down. Hopefully everything's okay on that Smyrna offensive line. Got some guys bottled up. I believe it was Nolan Zetley who was rolled up on there, but he seems to be okay. But great push by that offensive line up front. New set of downs. Now Smyrna deeper into Appo territory. They really haven't run the ball not out of the Earthquake yet. Every run play has been out of the Earthquake.
All right, fresh set of downs for Smyrna at the Appo 40. 10:24 to go. Marks back to pass, looked left, back to the right. Making the catch at the 40 and getting to the 35-yard line. No, that was Enriquez, or that was Kearney that time. Yep, Kearney on the catch.
So spreading the ball around here, getting into the playmakers.
I had to laugh before the last play because our cameraman, Mike Lang, had zoomed in on the Smyrna side on the coaches, and they're making all these motions of the play. And it looks like lifeguards, showing signals there down on the beach. It was hilarious.
No sign stealing up here, Glenn.
Yeah. I think it's Mike, our cameraman. 2nd and 5, long throw down the middle. Oh, Enriquez, this miscommunication there because he never looked back for the ball.
I don't know if he saw it. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, Marks was going to him, and it was an interesting route there by Enriquez. He's able to split both of those defenders on the back end. He had a little room there. It would have been a tough throw as Marks tried to lay it in over the top, but Enriquez didn't get his head around. As you mentioned, Glenn, didn't see the football. Not sure. I'd have to see a replay. If he does turn his head, he might have caught that and went for 6, but again, we'd have to see a replay, but just wasn't ready for it there.
Now we've got a little bit of confusion out on the field. Smyrna
got 12
with
guys on the field. I mean, Appo has 12 guys on defense.
Okay. Well, that's even.
And
it's 12 on 12? It's a new thing. 9:42 to go in this one. Smyrna on the, well, we got some kind of stop. Okay, the official.
I think just substitutions.
Yeah. Marks will have Kearney with him in the backfield. Trips to the bottom of your screen. The lone receiver to the top is Enriquez, and this time press coverage. There's nobody. Right up there on him is Carter.
Let's see if that safety can get over the top. If not, you're taking that one-on-one.
Marks looks middle of the field. He throws it deep. He's looking for Enriquez over the shoulder. Penalty flag, and I think we're going to have interference.
So that's a close call there down the stretch, but that's exactly what we had anticipated. He saw the one-on-one coverage, and I said before the snap, can that safety get over the top? He wasn't able to get there. He was too slow to get there, and the ball, I looked like, was in a good spot for Enriquez to haul it in. That's exactly what Smyrna wanted with that one-on-one on the top as the safety, as I mentioned, slow to get that help defense over, and that could be a pass interference penalty?
Yeah, I think so, but now we know why they were playing 7, 8, 9 yards.
Oh, that's absolutely right. And like I said, if you're going to play press coverage like that, you got to make sure that safety is ready over the top. And just was a little bit slow getting there because I think his eyes, Drew Marks' eyes lit up like ours did up here, seeing that coverage on the far side. Whenever you got your guy, especially as good as Enriquez, one-on-one, it's no discussion. You're giving him a shot.
All right. After the penalties, 1st and 10 at the 20, pulls the ball out. Marks tries to run it himself, and I tell you what, Cofield's there waiting for him.
He was, and a little pump fake once again here out of Marks, 5 yards down the field.
Another flag thrown down at the 10-yard line. Marks came up, I think, only about a yard or two shy of the first.
Yeah, able to make something out of nothing there. He has been a savvy runner here for Smyrna tonight.
I tell you what, when you're running away from Cofield, you better get some wheels.
Oh, and there's going to be a face mask. That's a big one.
On top of the play, that'll be half the distance. And this is as close as either team has been to scoring here in the second half.
And you can make the argument it's due to those 2 penalties. I mean, it was the pass interference in the end zone, not a spot foul, obviously. here in high school, and then a big one on the face mask. Those are 2 big yardage penalties back-to-back. Now it has Smyrna threatening deep in Appo territory.
Looks like the ball is down about the 7-yard line. Scoreboard says the 5-yard line. That's not the 5. You got those soccer lines out there and everything, and it's like,
That's right.
Don't get faked out, buddy. It's at the 7. First and goal from the 7. They bring in the earthquake formation, and now timeout is taken by Appoquinimink.
Official stoppage.
Oh, it's official stoppage, yeah. I think we had a player had to come out.
And not sure if it was a limp or equipment, but that's Cofield.
Yeah.
It looks like he might be cramping up a little bit. Never want to speculate.
It could be. Aaron Hall checks in for him.
So Cofield, a tough guy to lose down here at the goal line. We'll see. A first down. It's a big – first downs are big here when you get down to this area.
And we haven't seen Dorsey come back in the game after he limped out. He plays in this Wildcat. So it's Crenshaw and Kearney pushes the pile down inside the 5 to maybe the 3.
Smyrna now just loading up in that earthquake, saying we think our guys are better than your guys. We're going to give our guy the ball. We're going to go tit for tat here in the middle of the field, our offensive line against your defensive line. And right now, Smyrna's winning that battle in the trenches, at least here in the second half, with that earthquake offense and that run game that they've got going here.
They're getting a good push right in between the guards. So it was a 5-yard pickup down to the 3. Second and goal from there. Clock running. Still plenty of time in this game. 8.5 minutes. Kearney stops the count. They change the play up. And I think that might be Dorsey back in the game. Kearney takes it himself, though. He might have gotten to the 1. That's where they're going to mark him down. So it'll be 3rd and goal from there.
I'm even a little surprised he was able to get 2 yards on that. How was he able to propel himself forward and pick up positive yardage? And now getting to the 1-yard line. Is there laundry on the field? No, I don't believe so.
No, but Dorsey is back in. That's a good sign. Remember, he went out maybe about a quarter ago.
So another stop here is goal line stand coming up. This is a big series, 3rd and goal from the 1.
And you got to be disciplined, both teams. You don't want to commit a penalty here.
Especially if you're Smyrna.
All right, 3rd down and 1 play. It's Dorsey, and it's Kearney. Kearney dives over the pile. Did he get in?
I don't think he did.
The officials say no, he didn't make it.
Wow, and here we go.
So defensively, somebody got and pushed him up as almost to say, here, do a push-up.
That was a heck of a job by Appo to stop him in his tracks. Obviously, it's tough when you're running back and leave your feet at the goal line, but Kearney able to do it, and Appo stuffs him. And here we go, Glenn. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, of 14-12 game. Huge play coming up.
The nose of the ball is like almost on the goal line. It's that close.
And again, this earthquake is out of shotgun. That makes it a little bit tougher, but it's worked for years.
Kearney, low snap, goes straight ahead. He got stuffed. He's fighting. I don't think he made it.
Wow.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
What a goal line stand by Appoquinimink.
Yalik Carter was one of the 2 guys able to get there. He had a teammate that might have made first contact. But once again, Smyrna saying, hey, we're going to tell you know what we're going to do. We're going to earthquake it up, and we're going to run up the middle 4 straight times here at the goal line. We're going to try to punch it in. And the Appo defense standing tall and with a big goal line stop, bending, not breaking on a long drive from Smyrna that would have regained the lead. The defense for the Jaguars coming up huge here midway through the 4th.
And he even lost a little bit because the nose of the ball was almost touching the goal line. It's back out to the 1. Now let's see what Appo dials up deep in their own end.
And Smyrna has been able to bring pressure even with those 4. They've also bring in some backers. They've created some havoc back there. What are they going to do here? Maybe try to bring some pressure.
It looks like Rogers is in the backfield with Drummond. No, that's Brown. Well, there you go. You needed to get out from underneath the goalpost. You did. Out across the 5 to maybe the 6 or the 7.
And Brown continues to be so effective on the ground tonight for Appo. He's been phenomenal in that run game. That was the biggest question mark offensively coming into this matchup with Smyrna. And that was a big play. I know it kind of goes underrated, but you're pinned back deep. That's a huge first down play for Brown to get you out of dangerous territory. And now you can kind of settle down with the offense 2nd and about 5.
Drummond stays in the game along with Brown. Brown gets the handoff left side. Look at Brown go. 20, 25, 30, 35, and out to the 40-yard line.
And able to hold on to the football. The most important thing is those Eagles were trailing behind, trying to rip that thing out. Brown has been fantastic tonight for Appo, has been the brightest spot offensively for this team in this one.
He is almost up to 100 yards rushing with that carry. 33 yards. Unbelievable.
And you're Appoquinimink, and you're in the fourth quarter. We talked to Coach Timpson last week after that game against St. George. He said the one issue we're having is closing out games. Well, no better way to close out a game than with the big fella in the backfield picking up some yards here down the stretch.
Well, that time they went to the well one too many times.
Yeah, Smyrna ready for that action. You know, Smyrna, hey, your Appo defense made a play. Now it's time for the Smyrna Eagles defense to make a play. It was a big goal line stand for the Jaguars. Now what can this Smyrna defense do? They're going to have to step up, either stop this Appo offense, they got to get the ball back to their offense, or come up with a big turnover that they haven't been able to do yet so far tonight. Oh, except for the interception.
Coach Timpson, was telling me before the game, he said, you know, I looked at the replay of the game you guys did when we were at Dover. We had 9 yards rushing in the first half. We did rush a combined 100 yards in the game last week against St. George's. Well, here you have one running back who almost has 100 yards for you tonight. They're making steps. Yep. They're making progress on the ground. Drummond back to pass, steps up in the pocket and just missed his intended receiver, Rogers, in the middle of the field.
And that was it. That was going for 6. You get the ball in the hands of Rogers there across the middle of the field. He was open. He's going to take it the rest of the way himself. Once again, it was good awareness by Drummond because Smyrna's still getting pressure with just those 3 or 4 pass rushers, and they were able to get to him again. He's got great pocket awareness. He's able to sidestep the rusher, step up in the pocket, and once again, he's so good at keeping his eyes down the field as he evades the pressure. That ball, I believe, just off the mark to Rogers.
Big 3rd down and 10 here. Appo holding on to that 2-point lead with 5 minutes to go in the game. From their own 42. Trips to the bottom of your screen. It's like Clements in the game at running back. Drummond throws it near sideline on the out pattern to Noah Hoff. It's complete into Smyrna territory at the 47, and that's enough for a first.
He makes such tough throws look easy. If you're watching at home, that is not an easy throw to make. That is the arm strength out of Desai Drummond. That's going to the far side of the field to this near sideline on your screen. That is an incredible throw to make for a quarterback, and he just made it look so easy. Hoff is fantastic with his sideline awareness, one of the best receivers in the state. He hauls it in, but Drummond, that one was on a rope to this near sideline.
Sure was. Yeah, Noah Hoff, I like to call him a possession receiver.
Man,
he doesn't have the speed of Rogers. He's still a fast kid, but he's more of a possession-type receiver. At the Eagle 47, handoff, Brown up the middle, and he's just wearing down that Smyrna front.
And like we talked about just a few moments ago when Coach Timpson saying we're young, we have to learn how to close out games. Well, that is how you do it. Brown could be that recipe maybe for the rest of the season. They might have found something with this kid in the backfield. He's got the power. He's got the speed. He's got the vision. He's made some huge plays tonight in a big-time game here at home and a team that you haven't beaten in your school's history. I mean, he's been fantastic. And you mentioned getting better each and every week. That's the goal. And Appo seems to be figuring some stuff out here. And we'll see if they can keep it going.
Good to see Leighton Von Brandt back in the game. The sophomore nursing an ankle injury. I see him on the offensive line. 2nd down, about 6. Drummond takes it himself, has a first down. What a great job that time of holding on to the football. It looked like he handed it off to Brown.
He's been great in his decision-making tonight. That's once again a read on him. Is it a keep or a give? His 2 keeps that he's had tonight, one I believe has gone for a touchdown, and the other was a 4th down conversion. Well, that time he does it again for the 3rd time tonight. It's once again a successful read from Drummond, and he picks up big yardage, a new set of downs into Smyrna territory, and even took a huge lick there towards the tail end of that run.
Clock running. Inside of 3:50 to go in the game. Appo managing this drive that started at its own 1-yard line. Brown gets the football. Crashes off side inside the 30 to the 29. And he just carried the defender with him.
And you look down on the field, Glenn, and you see for the Appo offense, you just had number 10 if you see him stand up, he went to the sideline, Jacob Yard, the senior, and he gave he said, we're keep going. He said, keep pounding the football. Let's just keep running it. They're loving what they're getting. The offensive line is getting a fantastic push up front.
Yeah.
And this run game could be the recipe to close games. As we mentioned, it is taking a toll on this Smyrna defense here in the fourth quarter.
2nd down and 6 after a 4-yard pickup by Brown.
Just eating clock away.
That's the most important thing right now, Coach. Under 3 minutes to go, you have a 2-point lead. Drummond claps his hand. Feeds it to Brown again. Hesitates just that little bit to find the hole, and he's down close to the Smyrna 25-yard line.
And as a ball carrier, what you want to do is deliver the blow when you're running, right? You don't want to get hit or get hit hard by those defenders. You want to be the one delivering the blow. That's what Brown's been doing all evening. It's been insane for him. He's had the ball in his hands, and he's taken 2 defenders forward when they're coming to stop him. I mean, he's been such a bright spot for Appo today, and in my opinion, maybe the player of the game for the Jaguars so far.
I was just thinking that myself. They feed Brown again. That time a run blitz off the edge, and they stop him. That's going to be a loss of a couple.
And that's a big play. Timeout down on the field by Smyrna. 2:07 still remaining, and what has been all Appoquinimink here for us in the last couple of minutes. So once again, they stick with the run, and you would think Smyrna might be able to get there after the 5th or 6th time. So they finally make a play. So that's what that defense needed. They got it done here. But now the bigger play comes up next. 4th down and 2. You got a 2-point lead if you're Appoquinimink. Obviously, they're capable of kicking the field goal. We talked about that already. They got a heck of a leg. But what good does that do you really? Because you know Smyrna's not going to kick a field goal.
Right.
So that 2 points to becoming 5 points really doesn't make a difference. They're going to go down the field and look for a touchdown either way. So big 4th down coming up here for the Jaguars. They need about 3 yards. They've been great on the Desai Drummond read, the belly reads, where he's been pulling it himself. He's 3 for 3 for first downs and big plays on that play. Brown's been great on the ground. Noah Hoff has been great down the field. So if you're Coach Timpson, this is your best play. 4th and 3, what's going to get you this first down? Let's put this thing on ice. You mentioned having trouble closing games. Well, this is the scenario he's referring to. How do they get it done here?
I know Smyrna has used 1 timeout here in the second half. I believe they still have the 2 remaining. And confirmation from our producer, Jason Winchell. All important 4th and almost 3 here after the loss of a yard. Drummond takes it himself, just pounds into a defender. He should easily have the first down yardage. I thought I heard whistles before the snap.
Yeah, and they got it. And again, the crowd doesn't even know what's going on. That is a huge play in this game. The crowd should be on their feet cheering. I don't think anybody knows what happened. Drummond just picked up a first down, and we just talked about it before the snap. 3 plays with him keeping the ball in his hands have all gone for big plays in this game at unique situations, and they do it again. Put it in his hands on the ground on 4th down, and Drummond using that size and strength to pick up 4 yards. Again, he's got great size for that quarterback position. Putting it to good use there. A timeout down on the field, but I believe they got the first down.
They did get the first down, he motioned to that. Smyrna took the timeout, so at best they have 1 left with only 2 minutes to go. And if they keep feeding Brown, which I think they will now.
I would imagine.
Run that clock.
But you got to pick up decent. Now, was there a timeout before the play? The marker is still showing 4th down and 3. And now, again, you think we might have noticed that by now. But either the chain gang is wrong, or
which could
there
be.
Was a time you said you heard whistles before.
Yeah,
the snap,
I thought I heard whistles.
But they let the play run for its entirety, so that would be interesting. Maybe that's why
they're moving the chains.
And there you go. Okay, I was going to say I don't think we were that wrong, but we were able to get the right call that time. So you're not going to say that run for a first down puts it on ice, Glenn, but
no, but
that's what you want to see if you're an Appo Jaguar fan. Smyrna now has to make the big play,
and they're probably going to cheat here on the run. I would.
Exactly. I'd be bringing some guys up from that linebacker position. I know Mason Spears has been very good today.
Appo still spreads the field. They have the wideouts to the top of your screen. Drummond just takes it himself, backs down to the 20-yard line, so he's going to pick up 3.
I believe timeout once again here for the Smyrna Eagles down on the field. So how about keeping it in the arms of, or the hands of Drummond, I guess I should say, the big, quarterback. For me, I'd be going right back to Brown here for sure. I don't want Drummond taking any unnecessary hits. He's taken some hard licks here today once he's gotten to that second level of defense. I give it to the guy that's kind of rode you here down the stretch in this second half. Pound the big fellow, the running back, Brown. He's been fantastic, and let him take you home.
Drummond's a big guy, too. He's about 6'2", and I tell you, last year he started on both sides of the ball for Howard. He was a defensive end and a wideout. Of course, R.J. Matthews was the quarterback, and he wasn't going to find any time behind him.
I believe the Offensive Player of the Year in the state of Delaware, R.J. Matthews, last year. Now, I believe taking his talents to, I don't remember the name, Virginia?
He was also the
military.
Maxwell Football Club Player of the Year for Delaware.
An athlete during his time at Howard, both on the hardwood for basketball and
he was at. I think he was at the game last night. Didn't I hear that, Jay? Did you hear us comment about that? Yeah, he was at the game last night. All right, here we go. Timeout is over. Drummond and Brown. 5 yards off the ball. It's Drummond again. Oh, he breaks right through, and it's a touchdown run. Man, that cannon gets me every time.
That opened up like the Red Sea. Drummond, who was supposed to play action to Brown, beat Brown through the hole. He's supposed to follow Brown through the hole. He beat him through the hole. He saw such an opening. He took it. He beat him and then did the rest. Brown was able to lay a key block down the field after he let him catch back up. But Drummond with a huge play down the stretch. The 4th down carry to cement that first down and keep the drive going, to eat more clock, and then that one there that's going to put this thing on ice. They allowed a huge comeback, almost comeback to St. George's last week, and we talked about it. Coach Timpson talking after the game. We'll get that going. We'll learn how to win these type of games and close teams out better. Well, they did a phenomenal job of that, at least so far. There is time left, but that was an incredible drive, up by 2 points late in the 4th quarter.
And now an all-important extra point because it's only an 8-point lead at 20-12.
Huge play.
Mowdy the snapper, Hoff the holder, Talley kicks it. It's good. That one is huge. Now it is a 2-score ball game at 21-12 as we keep it right here. How about the goal line stand?
Wow,
that
that's
changed
what it goes
the game.
Back to. That was it. That was the play of the game. You're absolutely right, or plays, I should say. 4 earthquake runs up the middle that Appo was ready for, including that 4th and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
They're able to stop Kearney. They get the ball back, and then they drive the length of the field to put this thing on ice for what is potentially going to be the first win in school history over Smyrna. This was an incredible 4th quarter and second half for this Appoquinimink team. The 3rd quarter was kind of a stalemate, but they, again, made some big plays, and it started with the defense here in the 4th.
Definitely. 1:48 to go. We believe Smyrna is out of timeouts. And now Talley to kick it off. I'm sure he's just going to kick this one deep, I would think.
Again, we apologize. The scoreboard out of reach for the time for us here today. That is a tough vantage point.
It's showing 1:48.
1:48 now.
There's the kickoff. High end over end. Bobbled but taken just outside the goal line. And out across the 25, shy of the 30-yard line on the return.
So not a bad return, and now, Glenn,
that
what
was
it seems
Dorsey.
to me is this becomes the Marks to Henriquez drive. You're going to have to just find something deep. You need a big play. Again, things not looking good for if you're the Smyrna offense, Smyrna in general. We had 140 coming down. You're down by 9, but let's see what they go with.
And now you got pretty much your prevent defense, the secondary players, a good 10 yards, 12 yards off the line of scrimmage. Smyrna with trips to the bottom of the screen, Enriquez to the top. Kearney is in the backfield with Drew Marks. And now the official's ready to go.
I'll have to turn down the Miley Cyrus. No, they're just going to let it go.
No, they're going to hand off to Kearney.
Nice move.
Nice move to get very close to a first down and get out of bounds.
So that must be the thing here at Appo, right down the stretch, is you're celebrating with some music, I guess.
Okay.
Nice environment here for sure, and of course, special thanks to Muskie, Chris Mosquera, athletic director here at Appoquinimink, of course, as always, doing such a great job hosting us here.
10-yard pickup by Kearney, got the first out of the 38, and he got out of bounds. Stopped the clock with 1:35 to go. Empty set. Marks throws far flat, completes the pass, and they get out of bounds quickly, and that's, guess who, Enriquez. Gain on the play is minimal, about 4 yards. That stops the clock with 1:30 to go. Now, realistically, Smyrna would have to score quick, get the onside kick, and obviously score again, and all without any timeouts. Empty set again. Marks rolls top of your screen, throws far flat again, completes it to Enriquez. Stepped out close to another first down. That's 10 catches tonight for Enriquez. Now he's been the target
he's the playmaker
on that sideline. Just shy of the first. They hand it off. Crenshaw gets the first down, does not get out of bounds, but they will. Now there's a late flag that's thrown. He got the first down at the Appo 45, so they will call timeout to move the chain gang. Crenshaw's best carry of the night.
And you know, Glenn, just thinking to myself, thinking back to that Smyrna drive when they were going down the field, and you think about that play to Henriquez in the end zone that would have been a touchdown, instead pass interference is called, and that ended up saving the Appoquinimink Jaguars. Maybe if that ball is caught in, and sometimes pass interferences can be a good thing as we have a penalty on the field.
Yeah, it's a personal foul on Appo. It's a
and now
blow to the head.
And now if you're Coach Timpson, that's what you got to stop, right? You don't want any of that. This game is about to be put on ice. You're going to win this football game. You don't want unnecessary penalties, especially some of that sort here towards the tail end of this ball game.
That'll give Smyrna the ball at the Appo 32-yard line. And Marks goes before the chain gang's ready. Steps up. Now throws it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Now the chain gang is set. Second down and 10 coming up. 1-1-1 on the clock. 1:11.
And I'll be heading down shortly to.
Yeah, who are we going to decide?
Game. That's a tough one.
Brown had a heck of a game, made a big difference. You can't really pick out one defender that was making the stops down there in the earthquake on that goal line stand. Of course, Drummond's had another good game on the ground and in through the air. I would say maybe Brown's the difference here.
So. And Drummond, I believe, has been maybe.
Yeah, we've had Drummond.
Yeah, so he's been the player of the year. I think this might be Brown's night. What a job stepping up for that running back tonight when they needed him. And we were talking leading in the week, the run game hasn't been what they had hoped so far, dealing with injuries in the backfield, especially coming off the season last year when you had maybe the best running back in the state on your team. So tough to get that going, but it certainly got going tonight for Appoquinimink, and the offense benefited greatly from it.
Yeah, they found a new weapon in their arsenal. Marks, far sideline. Catch is made and bounced by Kearney. Now Kearney hit hard right near the sidelines. He got close to the 30. He's only going to gain
They mark him out of bounds?
About 2 or 3 yards. No, I think he stayed in, didn't he?
So did I. The clock, though, not running.
Yeah, it's some of the Appo fans. Get the clock going.
Yeah, I thought he was tackled in bounds. Far side of the
Apparently
field,
not. Yep, way across the vantage point for us.
Mm-hmm.
2 receivers, top and bottom of your screen. Marks. Those top of your screen, Enriquez. And he's tackled immediately, and he's tackled in bounds.
That'll run the clock.
Under 50 seconds to go in this one.
An 11th or 12th catch for him, though, right, today?
Yeah, double-digit receptions for him. 4th down right here for Smyrna. Smyrna that jumped out to a 12-0 first quarter lead, and then Appo with 3 unanswered touchdowns.
How about that? Again, the defense with the big play at the goal line stand in the 4th quarter.
Empty set. Marks had to reset. Crenshaw as a wideout. Pressure's coming off the edge. Gets away from that, but not the second guy who tackled him up high. That's Cofield.
And the clock hasn't been running that entire time, Glenn.
Well, now it looks like it jumped down to 25 seconds all of a sudden. Cofield on the sack.
So 25 on the clock. Not sure how many time is really left, though.
Yeah,
I guess
well,
it must be 25. We'll go with that.
As we all know, the official time is kept down on the field. And it's a moot point now because that was 4th down. Turnover on downs. Appo will take a knee in the victory formation, and they will have their first win in school history over the Smyrna Eagles. snaps a 5-game losing streak. Appo will improve to 4-0. They remain undefeated. Smyrna will fall to 1-3, and they have to play Middletown next week in the Harvest Bowl. Looks like 110. And the ball game is over. Appoquinimink victorious. Once again, they're undefeated at 4-0. We have them ranked third in our Super 7. And Jay, I have to tell you, every time I hear that cannon go off, I know it's coming, but I still jump.
I do too, Glenn, and that was crazy. I mean, you know it's coming, and I still.
All right, going down to the field is Nick Alessandrini, and he will have an interview with our First State Ortho player of the game, and that is going to be fullback running back for Appoquinimink, Caden Brown, number 36, who rushed for over 100 yards in the game tonight. Here are the scoring plays. As again, Smyrna jumped out to the 12-0 lead. It was a 21-yard pass to Enriquez for the first touchdown, and then a 77-yard pass to Enriquez on a screen for the second touchdown. And that made it 12-0. The conversions were no good. In the second quarter, Appo came back. A 13-yard pass to Rogers for a score, and then an 8-yard run by Desai Drummond, tallied converting both extra points, and that's the way the half ended, 14-12. And then not another score in this game till a minute 48 left on a 99-yard drive by Appoquinimink after a goal line stand. A 20-yard touchdown run right up the middle by Drummond. Talley's kick made the final score of 21-12. We're going to keep it right here. See if Nick Alessandrini can get a hold of the player he wants. I think he's already gone out and talked to head coach Brian Timpson. And shortly we'll have that interview. Let's see if we can get you up to date on some other scores. Looks like the Nationals are taking care of the Phillies tonight.
Yeah, Ranger gave up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. I'm a little worried about him, Glenn, as the playoffs get underway. That's probably going to seal up the top seed for the Dodgers if they get by Colorado tonight. But you know, I'm excited they got the first round bye. And how about Reese Hoskins in that grand slam tonight against the New York Mets to give the Brewers a 4-0 lead, and that's big. And with the weather they got down there, Mets and Braves might have to play a doubleheader Monday.
Monday, right.
And then jump right into the playoffs on Tuesday.
All right, Nick Alessandrini is making his way over to a vantage point where we can get
check 1,
our
check
interview.
2, check 1, check 2.
All right, so he's ready to go, and it's time now to send things down to the field to Nick Alessandrini and our player of the game, Caden Brown.
And welcome back into Delaware Live Sports. Nick Alessandrini now with your Delaware 302 player of the game, Caden Brown. A huge game on the ground for him today. Here you go here. Let's get this one right there. There we go. Rock that chair. There we go. Delaware 302 player of the week. Let's talk about it. This is your school's first win over Smyrna in its history. Just talking from you, what does that mean to you and this squad after tonight?
Hey, I've been here for 4 years, and every time we went against Smyrna, we didn't have no hope. And today we brought it, baby. I love my team, man.
And you guys dealing with some injuries there in the backfield, but you stepped up big tonight, over 100 yards on the ground. A huge game for you. What was your mindset coming in? Did you know you might get this type of workload? And what was working for you out in the field?
Hey, I just put in a whole lot of work ethic. Every rep I got my opportunity, used it very well, and yeah.
So big win over Smyrna. You guys improve to 4-0. What is working for you guys this year? What is it about this team, and what can this team accomplish going forward?
Hey, it's a different ethic. Everybody wants it on this team. All the other teams, I never seen no team like this. I love my brothers, man.
You guys went down 12-0 early. You stormed back to score 3 straight touchdowns, and bring this thing home. Behind you on that final drive, kind of putting this thing on ice. Last week, St. George's with a roaring comeback there. You guys were able to hold them off. Your coach saying after the game, Coach Timpson, that we got to learn how to shut or close teams out. Well, you guys did exactly that tonight on that final drive. You were able to carry them home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I love my brothers once again, and it's not even the end. We're going to keep going. And the next thing is brick after brick, as Coach says. Coach Morgan, is brick after brick. And this is just one brick we laid. That's all.
Well, there you have it. Caden Brown, your 302 player of the game. Appo takes down Smyrna for the first time in school history, guys. Back to you.
All right, thanks to Nick Alessandrini, and congratulations to Caden Brown. Really excited young man down there, the senior running back, over 100 yards rushing in the game. All right, we got a couple of finals to pass along to you. Salesianum, no problem with Dover tonight. Running clock second half, they win 56-0 over the Dover Senators. Polytech is leading First State Military in the fourth, 8 minutes to go, 34-19 is that score. Seaford was leading Early College High School 51-0 at the half. So that was running clock in the second half of that one. Wilmington Friends blanks Brandywine tonight. Final 40-0 in favor of the Quakers. Odessa and Sussex Tech in a barn burner. It's 18-18 with 3.5 minutes to go in that one. St. Mark's, they have taken care of Cesar Rodney, that final 31-14. In favor of the Spartans. And Del Castle gets its first win of the year as they defeat McCain by a final of 14-6. That'll just about wrap things up from here. Thanks to both coaches, Mike Judy and Brian Timpson, as well as athletic director Chris Mascara, and for the entire 302 Sports crew. Mike Lang on camera, Jason Winchell producing, and my broadcast partner Nick Alessandrini. I'm Glenn Frazier. Once again, the final score 21-12, Appo over Smyrna. Thanks for watching our free live stream on Delaware Live, powered by 302 Sports.